Thank you.
New Year 2014 New Year Lada lots of Mendoza, some teachers didn't sama ilo logi na ilo na the truth be that has been among the get sama you na same similar to many you dash you dash is sama the redam jui did I know for I think this tojiga and this young humanity to conduct a shipia, and the Manicanement that is young one day is always look to me, and is Jawan Jinda, and is look to the name of the president, and Tamjamo, Manchazana, and Akas also was guilty, and Canaman, your arches in this coin that Jesu is not requires a Juan Jinda, and then you can shoot. She's an Adam Manile, she's an Adam, Jamani Sushi, so dear, and then Dama of Lane, young Tasayika, young says, Fido, young lost the time in the championship, she's an Toremato, young there, lost the championship. So, Bob, then Aka, the Zushi, and this too money, made it on dinner, and then Ika, and then Yajago, the Joanna, Shida, Ika, Jebo, Jeju, which is Maranjoni at bottom, and is near a dozen of 2 chest and is skip on sorry. The Nana Shinda Madoi, I need Nadoi, then Sulisana, then Justana, then Ladaspe, so Ladaspe is true. Was a Lama, Madame Ladaspe, is Jeju, which is a Ladaspe, Dijon. Mao ben Ladaspe was very jeune, and it's one boy jeune, and it's jeune, Mao ben Ladas, Sanjay is Gaba, Tashin Yaches in Yana Sanjay is Gaba during churches in Yana Mao ben Ladaspa, Mao ben Ladaspo, Ali, that Madan, Tasa Skida churches in Yana two churches in Mao, Loju Johann is taking Ladap for Kazushi, which is in Meko, that is sign. You can Chandigarh, you can Jammu, you can delay, you can, then it's true, then 이상 양스자잖아 유드잖아 이제 다 보자 보고 주고 전에라 레스테이노 송바산데나 자세 주고군 믹셀다 지주고 있어요. 믹셀다 주고군은 연구 인터넷 독재스당 스페라당 체스보 이 두스금니 각천지 지스테 가르기나 스페라당 차 가르기나 투어 스페셜보다 주고시 돕나 미션마다 미네 나시면 스페라마다 주고시가 미네 주시 간메데 각천지 스페라당 체스보 만 각천모시 지어 나라 지에서는 마음과 나다는 공안 나가기노 송가서 마음배 다섯 번째 유교 당시가 시식 찬양 되게 공안 나타났다 마음배 지주고 선자세요 마음배 자와서 혹시 공안 유대 인견에 셨을 되게 나라 쪽에 있는 박사 유능 연구와 되게 나라에 다 놓치고 이제 그냥 이거 쪽도고 나랑 잔다 혹시 로 되게 마음배 상계세 대바되게 뭐 나다이 나한테 나타나서 내가 랩세 너무 다서서 그래서 나다이 남아 지주고 있어요. 남아 공만한 바 나는 신다 그래서 나다스 미망 아바데 아마데 메메데 주어노데 스콘코데 처음에 다시 가진다 daksaso ba dadas nyambo no jani kia sundia na tarongi na ene sangi sistem ba manyamba ene mana chiju ko jesu yu thalunji ga yinna ene yu mana demo sangi sistem ba manyamba darshin gesba ena na sheda chiju ko jesu mi chama yinna ene ena na sheda chesem na demba ena na sheda ngatae chiju ko jesu 되게 릭숑 나다스 릭숑 마냥바 daksa yoga ko 되게 소시 나타이 다 남아 공만한바 아바이 나타이 아바네 메메데 라노데 아비게 코네 투시 가진다 daksa 예지 daksa 만나다 쭉 대삼식 송바데스도 마다하나 당스도 다다네 파나 진실다 되게 가족식 유리 요르게고 나타나 lep세노 송바산제나 자스데 그냥 나다스페스 주고 먹고 싶은 양보와 늦겠다. 예, 말도아. 근데 뭐 그냥 다스 이제 삼바는 시다 다스 가식식 무슨지 저스게 열비. 근데 스페셜 원하다 땅 점모 근데 쉽식 간매의 쇼인데 점모 쉽식 송스페 점모 주고 만나 동시 마식도 받을. 그냥 주고 동 숨지 그냥 보통 마다에 니만체 정식 니만체 정식 만은 데모다 데모 스페라 당시 되나는 시에 유리 주고 만은 데모다 데모 공연 방송 투체성 되나는 시에 되는 당 디데어 주고 먹고 지게 디데어 주고 그는 연포 만은 투체식 당 되나는 시에 당 거산 디자나 마치게도 손데 메트리나 되는 정말 영원 주고 왔을 때 네, 지주고 로사를 만난 게스트가 연포 계속시험 되게 자주 주셔서 내죠. 송바산데나 당시에 되게 다른 되게 좋은 점모 스페이버나 점모 나다스에서 주고만 보이노. 나다스 주고 이어다 잡았을 때 되게 스콘군다. 되게 스칼레스 받도 마마 고도 아니 공부는 되게 오피스 멘트까지 되나 당시에 되게 지주가 한 멘트까지 되나 당시에 양만 보이지가 되게 지주고 독사기하라 멘트 강연 되게 시큐리티 나는 신나서 강연을 가도 먹고 싶고 송바산 되게 정말 좋아 정말나 즉시 말아줘 잠시 잡도 유튜브 나서서 레와주 나는 정말 가시게 정말 송스테 되게 스타니 고마 되게 공부는 오피스직 고마 셋업 주시세 니쪽에 공안 또 주시세 정말 저스 유튜브 그러나 송스테 주주시 주시세 같이 헬렌 혹시 저스 유튜브 그냥 오피스 도마고 연결 주시세 그냥 뭐 그냥 나가서 주고 정말 오피스 고마 야가지 보실 수 있는 이 비스팅 되게 많다 지주고 마음 배치다 주고 그냥 엄청 아담 좋도 나도 좀 알아 그랬어 미세면고 되게 많다 스페셜보다 미시가 되게 기본 락직이 시스템 봐서 좀 식당나 그 되게 미세나 보셔도 락직이 있고 이마직나 같이 지지도 그것도 자체도 lobjong ko yala si tang tum na ane rang yin na yula chapto yin na lobjong yin ama na chapto yin na lobjong yin tong yin che se lo na na shen na sangye se shen pa na chapto yin na lobjong yin che se lo rang se ni mi che se ki po ji wo na lobjong tong ki po yong che ye de no song ba na lobjong de mo yin den na education bo ma na chen yin de jas de ane la da ba na mo ka ta education de zil bo la da ka na ko ga to de 다사 요가에 스쿨 내가 나시 나가서 필로가 요가에 나타에 다사 이거 인자고 나시 전리가 정보 이리 그는 요가에 노조군요 근데 연된 틀고 연된 education quality the quality of education is not then 사탕 대까지 영어시 너무 강신도하고 성과상 visit 디조시 토네 especially when another cool, then it's Madame, you're dead for. True Mongolia, I think you're dead chances, you know. You know, you're dead, that's it for Madame, then somebody, that's it. So she got them in the water. Lada said, Lada, school mama Podo. You know, Lada says, school Mongolia, then you're dead, that's it for. Then it's Mana, quality. Mana, noise when you're doing. 이 넷셋 점씩 적시게 지주에서 나타나요. 약계스 주시서 비어 스페셜 원한 나사 나라에 있는 프로그램과 비슷하게 다 넷셋고 나사 약계스 전체가 요즘 이 통내는 나다서 스쿨 상마다 되게 이쪽과 인터넷 넷셋고 약계스 주시서 인터넷 넷셋에서는 스페셜 원한 나타나요. 이야기 지주나 드링사의 딩듀스랑 등비의 모던 에듀케이션에 나온 드링사는 딩듀스랑 등비 멘텐 자체식 방법이 되는 거가요. 송과성 되게 잉글리시 안 나와도 힌디 안 나와도 원래 나와도 이랑 드링사의 되게 멘텐 자체로 유저 방법이 손에 지금이도 이때 넘서 유저 방법이 손에 지자 존이나 로조 주의나 멘텐 장당 연습법 되게 이 유저 방법이 되게 방법이 메թ드 방법이 좀 되는 송과성 되게 배시보는 마다 나서 눈 내려준다 나나 눈 스쿨에 되게 되는 거 같아요. 근데 상당히 괜찮아요. 나나 진짜 제 지주로 있어요. 딜리아 도시 그냥 마다 산스크리트 스쿨에 되게 되는 나나 진짜 마다 인터내셔널 스쿨에 되게 되는 리브도 그냥 보아 공부도 그냥 보아 마다 제식 저기 나서 예전에 뭐 나서 좋은 거를 예전에 뭐 딱 붙였어요. 나는 좀 배워보고 스쿨 원 주시는 교육이 되는 나서 송과서 원 주시는 통해 나다서 다른 경동보다 예전에 내세고 삼도 장년 가도와 다 퀄리티고 자투제세 삼바도 일단 양보 되게 많아서 정말 자기가 이거를 조건이구나 이게 연결된 내세고 가도시가 다 따보시고 삼바지 그것이 딱 되게 나이 인나도가 스페레 쳤어요. 진짜 이거 죽으면 거기 나와 기능에서 스페라도 이 좋은 게 당시에 그나마 이 간과도 이 아마리 인자분 죽도 여서 삼아면 이제 정말 나 죽어 그냥 스페라 당시 때 아다지 정말상 좋은나 말보다 잉글리시 단어 다 통하라고 아니 공화에 드링 사이에 렌즈 같이 다 드링 사이에 먹고 최스케까지 죽어 그냥 하고 하면 이게 잉글리시 단어 말만 담당 인자분 아바마리 분 두려스케를 맞다 이게 잉글리시 시에서도 스폰서 주시면 돼요. 이 두고는 뭐 인터넷 기자들 시스템이야. 홍보는 하고 시스템이야. 되게 시스템이야. 말하는 잉글리시랑 당시 시스템 너무 많이 정말상 되게 이쪽인데 정말상 now I would like to speak in a bit in English with all the boys and girls for you all especially. Now a few very important points that I wanted to share with you all over here today, which is very important that you all should understand. The few things that I have always been sharing with my own children in Dubai Lotus School, and also all the children all over in Ladakh, and also in outside Ladakh, like Jammu, Chandigarh, and Delhi students. one thing, as I always say, as you all being a, what do you call it, the lucky children, you always have to remember, okay, first thing what I want to say is that I myself am a lucky, okay, and I do all those many different kinds of activities. I do activities on education, mostly on education, because I said it's very, very important for our future now. If our Ladakhi people become educated people, then of course automatically Ladakh will be very beautiful. Ladakh will be very nice with the educated people, with the educated children. You know, all over the world is like this. If you look at any countries, if they are surrounded by educated people, then automatically the town or the country is automatically very beautiful. And if it's run or if it's surrounded by very uneducated children, by uneducated people, you know, uneducated public, then yes, you can see if you go to some countries, how dirty it is, how polluted is it, you know, how many people are fighting, how many people are killing. If that's mainly comes to because they are not educated, you know, they don't understand each other, they don't know what is the meaning of love, they don't know what is the meaning of compassion, they don't know how to become a good human being, they don't understand each other, they have no respect, they have no love, they have no care, and they have no such called culture, they have no such called respect, they have no such called behavior. So that's how, you know, all the people are suffering, you know. So why, in an example like myself, I always feel very proud myself to be a Ladakhi, first thing. And I always, since I graduated from my studies from Bhutan, I studied in Bhutan for 9 years in the university. So about now 2 years ago that I passed out, I graduated. From the day that I graduated from my university, what I promised and what I made myself a commitment is that I wanted to serve, of course, I wanted to serve the Buddha Dharma that's in general, because I'm being a one Rinpoche, I'm being a monk, I'm being a Buddhist follower. I don't call it really a monk, you know. I'm being a person who is following the footsteps of Buddha Dharma. And of course, it's my fully responsibility to serve the Buddha Dharma. Because I'm being a Rinpoche, right? First thing. Second thing, I'm being a monk or Buddhist. And you should also have to understand that serving the Buddha Dharma is not only a responsibility of one Rinpoche or one monk or none. It's a responsibility of all of you who are born as a Buddhist family, who are born as a Buddhist boy and girl. It's very important that it's all of us responsibilities. You know, we all have to serve our own religion or whatever. I don't really call it religion. You know, your own, what do you call it, the Buddha Dharma. You know, Sangye Sistema is a help for doing something samano. It's our Tuksabo, Ramaji Tuskeno, Gonfaji Tuskeno, Yatawaji Tuskeno. You know, Sangye Sistema, the Tuksabo, Sama Tuskeno, very Homojiba Tuskeno, Possession of Tuskeno, Sama Sangye Sistema, Gapel, Japto, Gapel, and get good. Namba Sangye is mission in the park. Scare China Chicken Pala, money for them chicken pala, can you all money from possession chicken pala, and this is their responsibility on you. That's important, very important that you all should understand. First thing. And second thing, being a Ladakhi. Now, responsibility of Ladakh is again all of us. Ladakh is again very Kazushi Vikucheno, the good for Ladakh Fumayo. Yang Ladakh Bay, Spotochik Nijigam, 야 나다 스페이스 양 위치니지 매너 마땅 상내에 나가요. You know what? So now we all say that we are Buddhist, right? We all say we are Buddhist. We do a lot of things. We go to monastery. We do a lot of like you know. We have lots of different cultures. Of course, you know. In Ladakh, you get up early morning. You have a offering, and then you do a sum, you do a selgem, you do a chime, and there are 100 things that they have to do it. Lots and lots of things. They are very important. Yes, part of our culture, our tradition is very important. But most important, as a being a Buddhist follower, as a being a Ladakhi children, I will say. Of course, Ladakhi children mostly, of course, we will say Buddhist follower. You all have to know that. Where is this? The Buddha, you know, very important is that now, rather than following all different types of things, what do you call it? Essence. The essence of Buddha Dharma. You know? The essence of Buddha Dharma is very, very important. You have to understand. Before you offer something, before you do a Bora, before you offer a Chime, before you do a Omani Bebe, what is the essence of it? You know? Because you can see in Buddha Dharma, okay, let's say in Buddhist, there are many different types of Buddhist. You know, there's like, we call it Tepa Chimbo, Tepa Chumbo, Tepa Chi Chimbo, Sangha Chimbo. You know, like Nayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana, there are many yanas there. And also there are many different ways of practicing. Like, you know, like in Ladakh, what our practice, we do in the monastery, we make lots of noise, right? We do down, and yelling, dum. We do a lot, we make hundreds of noise, right? That's our practice. And if you go to a place like Thailand, if you go to a place like Burma, or some places, they don't make any noise. They just meditate, they just keep very quiet, you know? They just keep silent for whole day. They will not make it even one bell, right? Just keep very quiet. So, you know, there are many different types of, what you call it, different types of, within a Buddhism, or within a Buddhism, there are many different types of way of now practicing, you know. Some are with the making noise, some are with the silent, some are with the all different kinds of things. So that makes many people a very confusion also, you know. The Buddha had given about 84,000 different types of teaching. 84 different types of teaching. 84,000 different types of teaching. So, but some are, as I said, in different way of practice. But the method, or the essence is the same. What is the essence? Essence, there are three main essence of the Buddha Dharma. That one is that most important, whatever you do, whether you are following a Hinayana, whether you are following a Vajrayana, whether you are following a Mahayana, or whatever tradition you follow, you know, whether you are living in Burma or whether you are living in Ladakh, you know, whether you are making lots of noise or whether you are just sitting and doing meditation, you know. So the essence is that, of course, to achieve the Buddhahood, right? To achieve that ultimate happiness, which is enlightenment. And the first thing, you know, we call it, and the Buddha has given a very simple, which you call it, like, if you translate it into like, these three is the three essence of the Buddha Dharma. You know? The Dipachya Vichesha. In that, it includes lots and lots of things. means that Rinpoche administration, not to create or not to accumulate a bad merit or negative karma. Never ever, don't accumulate bad thoughts, negative karma. And Jawab is also watching, which is whatever we do, we have to, always be, as we always say, be a good person, be a good human being, be a love for others, be a compassionate for others, right? So now whatever we do, everything actually, whatever we do is done by your mind, right? Whether you do good things, it's also created by your mind. Whether you do bad things, it's created by your mind. So now most important, rather than doing this, all sorts of like going aura or doing lots of things, most important is that now you have to control, or you have to, check your mind. Your mind is the most important. Mind is the one which creates everything, So now Buddha Dharma is actually, what is that? Shows the temple, so Thuksey Rinpoche, 7 so Thuksey Rinpoche, Thuksey Rinpoche, Thuksey Rinpoche, ya Kolam Rinpoche Thuksey Rinpoche, ya Shachache Chawayin Zedam, Sanjay Temple Thuksey Rinpoche, Mata Jason, Ladasna, when the Chusham Chuches is not handled, combine Chusham Chuches, yes. Is good on a quite serious good on the door. Near Porasum down, Porachu down the door. The Zukshin as Sanjay system, but now is what people they think this is what the Buddha Dharma is. No one really cares about the mind, about how to control your anger, how to be compassionate, how to be love other, how to be care other. That's no one really cares. Now the Buddha Dharma became more like things to do, things to make more noise, and things to make more more beautiful, more bigger monastery. How much big monastery you feel this is now? You have such a big, Buddha Dharma or Sangye Siddhamma, No. Man, whatever it is, Thuksey Bokharu Thuksey no, 7 Thuksey no. So it's very important that as a being a Buddhist follower, most important, I always believe, no need temple, I will say, no need such a big temple, no need to make a noise, no need to do anything. Most important is to be a good human being. This is the essence of the Buddha Dharma, Be a compassionate person. What's things happening around? I don't need anything. I don't need anything to eat or to drink. I just wanted to be quiet. That's all. So, what I'm trying to say is that that's very important. But I don't think that much of you don't know that the reason why you have to do money. Because of your parents are doing, or it became your culture, it became your. Now, most important thing is that church as I always say, even though you don't know anything. In example, like I have one very good friend. I just want to share one thing. He don't believe in any religion. Okay, he don't believe in any religion. But how good his heart is. It's like unbelievable. He's always, every minute, every second, he's ready to jump for someone. He's ready to do something for someone. For others. And his love for others, his compassion for others, there's no such called end. He's always there, 24 hours. Like, she's a very, very rich girl, rich woman, lady. She's very rich, and whatever she has a wealth, she spends almost like 90% on animals, selling the animal, caring of the old people, helping others. All this kind of things, Even though she's not Buddhist, she's not a Buddhist, but her mind is fully dedicated for others. That's what our actually one of our essence. But now it's a very sad news to share. I will say in Ladakh, there are many monasteries. There are hundreds of monasteries, thousands of monks, followers. But when you really come into, there are not even one person who is ready to have one animal. Isn't it? When you do a money to right? 10 to 50,000 people are gathering, and they are doing lots of things. But when it comes down to do something, or trying to give away something, trying to help one really come to do something, and everyone is like going back. No one wants to touch, no one wants to do. So that really shows that really the Sangye shows that you can cheat and not have shows that you can go to some sema to Sempa was a this is not what the Buddha Dharma is. Especially for them, I think you know I know how much healing some shit you know, 1,000 people gathered everywhere. For 9 days, His Holiness has been giving a teaching. You know, she's been teaching, but and every evening I used to attend the teaching. Every evening when I go back to my room, and because I always record his teaching, and I used to listen, and I just try to find what is the point now. There will be one point, you know. His Holiness has been giving lots of explanation, but there is a one point. So I'm always trying to find out that it's all about love and compassion. Be a good human being. That's it. You know. His Holiness Dalai Lama has never said, Jamil Goshisano, Kanemen Morapur Goshisano, Kanemen Manitan, the Matok Chusuba, Kalansa Manitan. He has never said that. Mostly, 90% is always trying to get the basic what say, be a good human being first. Right? What is the doubt now? Said point is that, you know, no one really, it's very, very sad to say that no one really cares of what is the compassion. C'est pas un mot juste pour you know. So to some Thuksey no. Same is the for Adan Sapa when you change Champa changing. One of the double feeling some. Dim man, Yamba Mata, Sanjay, Yamba the Jambo, Jamajano, Jen Simjana, Jen Simjana to me some Sheskin. Jen Simjana, you know, those time to get it. The person who are ready to do something for others, who understands others, who are ready to care others, who understands others' suffering, and who understands the cause of suffering. This is what is the Buddhist, I will call it. I will not call it a person who gets up early morning at 3 o'clock and doing Qur'an and lots of things, with lots of anger, with lots of competition, with lots of fair inside with lots of all different kinds of emotions, and they do it. I don't call it this is a religion, Buddha Dharma is. Buddha Dharma is very much demanding, your mind. Just seven to the Lord. Seven sample just now, then chosen for you might So I want to say that. I want to say basically, I spoke with them. I spoke with the many children in Delhi. They're very keen to know about know. They're always asking questions to me about the emptiness, about the about the shunyata, all sorts of things. They really wanted to know. Feel like I think they are, they think it's interesting. But the basic, they wanted to know this as a very interesting way, right? But if you don't have a love and compassion for others, then there's no company. There's no Dzongpa. Everything based on love and compassion. Everything based on that. This is the foundation. If you are not ready, if you don't understand the suffering and the cause of suffering of other or yourself, because everyone, of course, now we all are suffering, isn't it? This is very important we have to understand. Before we go up to emptiness, talking about emptiness, many Ladakhi students, no one is asking me a question about how to be a good, better human being. How should I love others? How should I care others? How can I control my anger? No one asks this in question, Whenever they ask, they always ask somewhere out there. They have no condition at all. I told them, some of children, I said straight away, you are talking so much what? And they whatever we, basically, science is just 84,000 different kinds of teachings. What do you know? 저기 보고 예체 시동인데. 이거 뭐게요? 내 자와 투사고 가르치는 거. 자와 투사고 인지해요. 인지해서 뭐 가르치는 거나 인지해서 뭐 세만 거. 세파서 뭐지 연나? 이제 심지에 동일 30개. 그러니까 이제 심지에 배워. 얘네 인제 별면다 얘 심지에 배워. 얘네 삼바당식 지게나 상계 시스템을 만드나 chosen for the now. So it's very important. I always encourage everyone, every children, everybody. I never encourage, I will say it must be quite bad also. I never encourage someone to force to go to temple. I never encourage someone to do something really. There has to be done by his own, with his own understanding and wanting. He will go to monastery, he will do Goram, he will do whatever. But the first thing is that I always try to make it a person. The first thing is good human being. First, you have to become a good human being. This is the most important. Being a now Buddhist follower. Okay, other religion, I don't know. Of course, actually, every religion talks about love and compassion, isn't it? If you go to Hinduism, they also talk about love and compassion. If you go to Christianity, they will also talk about love and compassion. But when it comes to action, there's almost no one is there to take an action. And of course, plus being a Buddhist, of course, we have to. The basic of the essence is about love and compassion. This is very, very important that we all should understand. You know. I'll just give you one small example in Ladakh. Now there's lots of dog problem in Ladakh, isn't it? Just want to share this because this is the kind of hot news in Ladakh, right? So you all are children, right? You all are, I will not call you children, of course, you all are very smart students. And you all are supposed to be very clever. You are here to learning all sorts of things. Can you just think why all these dog problems are happening in Ladakh? Can you just think why? Why dogs are starting to eat human beings now? Is the dogs are what? Are the dogs a tiger? Are they a leopard? Are they a what? That's Thuksey Rinpoche, zig in a mizan. And can you just believe that now dogs started to eat human beings in Ladakh, right? It's almost like a very, very unusual. Now it already happened 2 times in Ladakh, right? And of course many biting cases, meeting cases everywhere, So can you just think, why it's happening, And last time, almost all the people in Ladakh, they are just complaining about dog, right? 100 people are coming to see me, they are just complaining about dog, saying that they are such a bad dog, they are so stupid dog. We must kill them. We must destroy them. These are very bad. They are biting my children. They are this and that. All like they're 100% they are blaming on the dog, right? Then I thought a lot. I was thinking why these dogs are becoming so aggressive? So, and I started to tell my people, now please, I am not going to complain at all to the dog. I am going to fully complain to the people of the dog. You have to understand this. Before you complain to the dog, to such a simple and lovely animal, how did we because of our behavior, they became so aggressive. You have to understand this. Because of people of Ladakh behavior, the dog became like this now. Poor dog, the people of Ladakh, we have always been hitting them. We have always been throwing a stone on them. We have always been shouting on them. We have all the taxi drivers and car drivers, they have been hitting them. All the neighborhood, they are not even ready to give one piece of biscuit to them. They are just always ready to say, chum, chum, They have never heard some nice things coming from me, something nice voice coming from human. They never heard, I think. Every dog in the street, in Ladakh, in Leh, every village, they just hear one thing they can hear from human is chum, I mean, that's so scary, isn't it? Even if you are sleeping, I'll say, if one of you are just sleeping at night, I'll come and ask, or you will also feel scared. Wow, what is this? Isn't it? So that's how they have been treated. And secondly, no one comes to feed them. Everyone is ready to throw a stone. If you also same thing, if everyone comes to throw a stone on you, you will also not be happy. Isn't it? This is now how it happened in Ladakh, that dog problem. But can you just believe, everyone who does this, who are throwing, who are shouting, who are doing this, they are wearing a tema. They have His Holiness Dalai Lama's picture, His Holiness Gyawan Rupa's picture, right? They have lots of beige here. They wear. They even say Om Mani Padme Hum from their mouth. They say, I'm going to Lama Jala Chan, I'm Bobasuma, Ora Kora Chan, I'm Chichoa Chan. They all do these things. But on the way, if they see a dog, they are ready to jump, and they are ready to kick. And now where? I mean, now what is this? That's Thuksey Rinpoche, I say now you better, rather than going to Joma and doing, I don't know, even doing Om Mani Padme Hum, that's very much depends on your motivation again. Mani don't do that together, you know, that's just Kasuna. Mani don't just Kolong Rinpoche, not. Even me, you know, Mani does a yellow, Mani to call number some is for Asili, call number, come on a money, quite Japan, instead use the money to the door, cause some cases go on to church of the Kasuna. There's no guarantee such at all. He or she might go down worse than the person who is doing nothing. You understand this, you know? So we have to understand that why, in example, I'm just putting an example, right? Or ski is struggle. This is how, and then now you see, you can see very clearly that now these things, the problem happened. And then what the solution is to kill them. You know, there are hundreds of solutions. They left that they wanted to kill it. So that first thing I feel very bad as a being, you know. And second thing, I feel very, very shame if we do that. It's such a bad example. Whole Ladakh, you know, like such a land of such a historical, and people are being a Buddhist, and we are killing and hitting animals. We are treating like this. It's like if we kill all of them, it will become such a bad example for the whole world, and it's such a shameful for the Tao. So that's why I requested everyone, all the government officials and everyone said that please, I'll take care. Please, you don't kill it. I went to many villages and said like, now please, you know, don't do it like this. I'll take care. So now anyhow, so I got about 300 dogs one time, right? Now all those dogs, in example, I'll give you one example. There was one dog from Kosan Kaluni, one black dog. He had bitten 3 people until today. And the person telling me that now we have to take that dog away because he's going to bite another one more person. So okay, I said okay. Then I sent my people and we catch that dog and then we brought him to my place in Nam. We kept there. He said, this dog is such a lovely dog. He's the most beautiful dog. He became, you know, we are feeding them, we are playing with him. He's not there to bite. He's just so lovely dog, you know. He's not ready to bite it. But actually, he have already bitten 3 people. You know, me so dog. Now, he became one of the best dogs. So you know, so we have to understand that. Now, how did all this problem happen? You know, in Ladakh. Because of something, me Ladakh duken, Ladakh miman kisama is jukan ko, Ladakh miman. That I say to everyone very clearly. Yes, so just a minute, Ladakh miman Ladakh miman mampochige. Min ko sange system min ko, you know, Kamba sona kuyukyam. Guru which go is a mess of said kuyukyam, Mudu kuyukyam, you know what? Shasham Suyukyam. Get Chana Konduyukyam. Yawan which a cashier salusan, Bangtan. Jabur Chamani cashier salus, Bangtan. Money looks as a Bangtan. You know what? Don't move on to Zana, Kia Bisgurja, Tangiches Medical. Tangiches, that much they don't have a compassion. That is no Yenam, Kachichi is in the no. I'm just telling you very straightforward. Manichi doesn't know. Money turns on all money pay me home is a for Madochino. All money pay me home is the Atanis. Chichu Papa Cherezi, Zuma. Papa Cherezi is the gift for Suju. Papa Cherezi is the gift for a Yinjik and Ramzu. Papa Cherezi is the we so called the Buddha of compassion. So we practice his mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, without any compassion. So where's the benefit? What's the benefit? Can you just imagine? Somebody is not going to do Madam Mani turn and Zan on. Mani Takriks are hitting Nada Mani to do it. There is another Mani to spot competition do it. You can manage Akan Mangada Mama, Taika managed to 아가 많이 시켜, 이가 많이 시켜, you know. 다 차면서 아가 시켜도 뭐 이가 시켰어, you know. So 다 competition, chess of competition can be done. Money becoming competition. Money is also becoming like almost like making money on it. You know. Money to get just six to get just need to get just you become many to get a really very sad news. Man, stop your money. Money to get away some killing them. That money is the Pachino. So, you know, money is the gamble. In Inji, Papa Chile, Zuma. You know. So, he's the map potential that penton something done. But money is done and said they are penton, said Chima penton, Tajik, Semjena penton, something money done. You know. You know, money touches a goma, Tambo rang is sema, Ninji in Madba. Jen Simjel and Ninji, sometimes, you know. Yeah, worker, you can shake into, Ata Bumbo Palangi into, you know, Kitty into, Dickon Ninja, Dickon Stay, oh, Isam Zomodo, Congo Isam Dog, Congo Pillow, Isam Kana, Capu, Congo the Chichi just and Yan, Ni Chichi Tama Yan, some Ninji, Mana Medban, can't go money. I said, you better just sleep, relax. Jesus was only young to the running around getting money. I told my money upstairs, money done a job on the song the teacher. Is that like a Palak to open and to buy it conditions? You put your look at me yellow. Therefore, teacher, I don't know what the song says. You know, yes, everyone. Churches, money don't push it, and the don't push it, paying something you know, one depart. Here, Kajish, Sanjish, you don't have a Jimpachi Tawasa, money chicken, don't share my parents. Church in the Majina, Lagan, you don't give a good more than the Sanjay fine. Church that you put them out, they won't shut up Jerusalem, just Majina, churches pay for I wouldn't be hot for Sanjay Fine. You know, church in the Majina, Lagan, you don't give a good more than the church that you put shut up Jerusalem, based on the Madame Kajis when we eat food. 같이 한 사람씩 믿어. 망고 자다 그래 좀 받나도. 믿어. 애들 막 샬로 믿어. 제가 마음 먹어서 봐. 좀 정말 맞서나 양쪽 다 합니다. 양색 그때 양도 사고 싶어. 거기다 산책도 야 플랜치 이상적 책이잖아. 근데 비동서 먼저 봐. 또 하면 또 가서 뭐요? 책 줘야 돼. 같이 있는 사람 사도씩 줘야 돼. 믿어. 조선 방탕상 섹시스한테 되는 날도 줘야 돼. 그 직장은 직 줄나? kilometer dos get niente. Relation 대박이죠. 최신의 대단한 거. 최신 저도 중독식이에요. 배심만 많이 있잖아. 대박. 되니. 고마. 파파 제리지 로마 인케네. 파파 제리지 니고 리스펙트 대파지 보시. 고마. 이체지 보시세요. 파파 제리지 되니 지모디도 되니 닌지보다 또 tuksa고 파파 제리지 중간부 되는 많이 오만이 되면 어쩌나 막 배치 뭐 예들도 뭐도 예들도 배치 뭐 예들도 배고 라마 토제스 당 제가 배치를 해야 뭐만 찍고 싶은 동안 인지 보고 싶어. So what I want you to request all the data children 죽은 동안이 또 인지되나 첫째로 이는 저거랑 생각해서 보죠. 고마. The first thing. Dedi stomach is for the data. Dedi demo. Bueno. Dedi deba matay. Dedi si pera catch more than tamna. Ko dedi ko chizano matay. Tamna test no. Dizo mana man ba matay is dedi chijugo chikte 망고지 저건 저 봐. 저 두사고 빼시고는 키라 가지지 tamna 당겨 막 그거 스페셜은 again 양 스페셜 나만 마이 무서워 마신 스카프시가 되노. 나 shade I'm on my way to shading 나 정하는 차이. 가리나 차이. 정람사를 바자를 줌거나 쫙 옛날에 바자를 내서 스키식도 그래. 이놈아. 스키식도 그래. 키보 뒷받치기 냄장. 뒷받치기 나빠 붙잖아요. 나빠 받자데 나빠에 빠빠만 받 민도 르바도 그래. 나빠 이놈. 아하 무스데 도스데 정람사 바자를 줌면 민상 차이도. 미디어 이게 동거랑 차도와 이 바다를 주마 이 바다를 주니까 이 코리지가 스케줄도 그래 이 키보 디바지 냄새 소냐 나타니 소모 남자만 찾고 그래 이놈아 미 찍찍 다는 거 everybody is walking up down 가르쳐는 나만이 차 You know, 가르쳐는 나의 남아져라 차. 가르쳐는 아직 좋아 차. You know, 남아져서 고마 이 키보드 직전은 이 편하게 하는 자체스메라. 남아진 당나. 얘는 어디로 찾아와? 대리가 아까는 사람. 대리가 아까 잡는 게 된다면 거리 볼 때 아까 필요 핑스 대리 키보 지도 대리냐 폰 줬을 때 된다면 잡자 쇼스 때 just 대리 나가서 거리만 꼭 보도. 나 지금 나만 이게 쏘면서 정말 타이게. You know, now they start to show off to me. I think just 거리 보도. 거리 보도 나만 지성 그래서 말. 잡지 주고 싶다. 나 잡지 주고 싶으면 키에 잡지 주고 싶다. You know, 나 잡지 주고 싶으면 잡지 주스 난 키가 잡지 주스. 아니. 대리 주게 되니까 참. 이제 나 컨트롤. 이빨에 찐한다고 하니까. 오이 소식제도 다 강파하잖아? 오이 이건 니파에 저기는 강파하잖아? 주장 얘기야. 주장 데모. 믿어가. 연파야. 상계에서 꼭 이상 먹고 찍스 얘기야. 이놈아. 당가 하나 먹고 찍스 얘기야. 라마 하나 먹고 닌텐 좋아하고. 캡소치 해야 되노. 이놈아. 니남 독사고 중중 중식. This is just a very small example. 독사고 스키시가 아까 착수 라미 상계에서 대파 상계에서 최적의 샘체한테 파마이 모습인데 all sentient beings. all sentient beings that can 가까이 상계에서 최적의 말이 가로 최적 크리스천인으로 야부스름이 상만나가 all sentient beings are our parents and 마다면 없고 마다는 최적 상계에서 때에 마다는 최적 여덟 파마 샘체 탐지 되는 거 말이야. 파마 샘체 탐지에서 뭐라 이 가요간의 키시가 마당 스타마 도르나 데니스 마당 많이 메타보를 잡지 않나 배운 형태에서 가서 손바서 이제서만 이 하고 보시죠. 최선의 뭐 너무 독사 가오카로 독스도 오이 하고 주고 싶어 뭐마그라 최선 나와 독사 가오카로 최선의 뭐 지는 어떻게 뭐 이제 뭐 최선의 뭐 지는 답하는 더 시에서 막 보시지. There are many ways to explain, but if we keep it to a very simple 지가 뭐지? 내가 땅나 드린다도 최적의 뭐좀 투사고 나다 세마 투시 너무 되는 분이 이제 정말 하고 막 최적의 뭐좀 투사고 세마 투시도 세파 사고시 줬나 최적도 이노가 세파잖아 사단하면 장 세파니나 사단하면 연 내가 나다 스페이드 라다가 어디서 스키야 기사체 키 정말 용세 미안 탐지 속초에서 나다가 나가서 미만은 절반이 빠이 이렇게 졌대 키 정말 연바 요지나 이노가 somewhat that is starting someone and giving mambodo. So now what I'm requesting, I use keys for the spiritual important. 다산이 주었대. 다니 주주세 village 상마다 키고 adoption 줘 안다 줘. 키 상마다 sterilize 줘 당연히 나랑 유를 이거 나랑 대파 다 상계에서 대파지 위원나 최적의 준비지이나 인지지 위원나 키를 미니 adoption 때랑 통과 같이 다 거를 유 상마다 그래서 뭐하는 키를 키에 걸어가는 메커니즘이었어. 키 같이 키 덮어도 괜찮지도 말. 덮어도 안 거래. 거 같이 보실 수도 있어. 이놈아. 성과서 미 상배기도 미 전파 탁코 아담 나가스 스킬거나 미세게 pokazuje ljudi na 제독시가 통해. 팀이라. This is what they do now. 거의 미글라 키 지역적시 키세게 보기 통한 맞다도 돼. 나 나가스 키를 지성되는 거는 미작 통나 제독시 통하는 거예요. 이놈아. 만나 지간지 만나 진짜지 만나 속보시 통해서 나와. 속보서 내가 통해서 짝 그래서 애착주와 자도하고 송바서 자도하고 미소도하고 짝 애착주 지시만이 만나 타다 비도하고 거의 타 이것이 지혜로잖아. 만나 죄파 나다서 미만들이 죄파들이라고 했어. 송바서 만나 죄를 또 너두사는 죄를 보 세파서 좋아서 이거 나다서 주 미만 이제 참아 나다가 가서 드링기는 이나 옆에 참아라. 이게 내가 좋아해. 최적의 뭐 도도서 뭐 세마 투세 스페셜보다 나다가 주동되나. 야기 나다 라랑 소소이 스페셜보다 라랑 소소 미카시 나나 사용도 요 some people are very sick. 이상적 조모용 난용 아니 얘 가지고 용쓰는 it's very much depend on your behavior. 라는 전반을 잡어요. 이거 미창마. 스페셜보다 드링사 하체적만 보용도 미만보다 되게 하체적 스페셜보다 원만 라다가 we don't have basically not some comment, but it's just 2 years ago. Ladakh, Chigela, Mamma, Chigela, Mijotama, Ladakh, Naloka, I think Mambojana, China, Kazakh, Chambajina, Skepajina, Bimojina, very money, very basic money, Jamaican, that drinks on Chilo, Ladakh, 8 consumption, you know what? Then I hepatitis, you consumption, hepatitis A, B, you consumption. Then I heart attack, then a heart is patient, some you know, then it's Ning that, you know, Ning is Zomo heart, some shit. Then the dead part, Zomo, you consumption. All these different kinds of sickness are in the dark now. Why? How? Jetpack Hadamas. Lada me, Jetpack, you check, Jetpack, Mida, sickness of my own blood. Not such a thing for Natan loose baby, they would draw 7 to them. Semba was people of Demo, you don't do the Nasa, you want to go. Louis of Sim is got fun at time. Connection fun. So was some action for that, so don't do some 7. Semba was a bunch, Semba's a bunch of Ramshin, Jetpa's a boy, which is not. Jetpa was a boy, and you're Ramshin, of course, and it is going as a boy. So to some 7. So was another simple. Another we suffer because of suffering is also meant by Madame Dumian Dumian Mamboshi, Madame Namboka, Seminar, Middle, Dumian Minta, Dumian John Boshi, John Boshi, Mamboshi, Madame Dumian Chen, Dumian Minta, Dumian Mamboshi, Tormented Dumian, Madame, Tormented Dumian, you know, especially when Madame Chisano, Tormented Dumian Middle, especially when China. To make Mampush, you can getting some time, Raran so basic one. It's difficult to say different kinds of example there. Example number Zen Dozen Chimochano. So was Zen Mabosa, then it's all to Sabo, Nata Sem. Even Mark Shigori. So was on Nisha Sama, that was true, Nisha Sama. Saba was a butcher, they didn't know more, any Nisha money, any better good. Any Chichi China, any Depa, Matan, dear Disco, any Matan Disco Depa you want, the marriage will really come to you. You know, dear member special Matan is not so to Sabu Kulong. Do I? Skulong Samochi Yona, any Matan last Chichi China. Jordan Joseph would never now. Kulong was not simple Zampoyona, Rashid Disco Dixon. You know what? Especially when the one man gives me the there's one man, Gawama. Magic, you know, Namtana, Gawako magic, then Chishu, which is Zoom now, especially when I teach you, I will use my boy, and then I will use chicks that Tatachi Missum Sang years at the spelling dollar. Tatachi just a Missum Sang years at it. Madame Tatayon. Tatachi just a Missum Sang years at Michi Tatachi Jacka. You know, Tata Sebaza Punches them at the Tatachi, Tatoji. Mini swap with them, oh, it's 사사부 유족과 이메일 책도 그래서 참배 동도 맞은 바쳐도 야라님도 다치게 겪으시면서 그런 shoes 보는데 보고 근데 역감죠. You know, actually this is something very bad. You cannot put your such dirty shoes on the such a holy sasa. No, but he did it with such a very good attention, with pure motivation, saying that this one will be 사사부 내가 찾는 some 그런 상보식 스톤에 값을 보는 거. This thing means that you super. Yeah, it's a sushi in it's a me hand down option, your budget, and it's Sasa bow birthday, shoes birthday. Yada me looks at the quite pangtanga. How about it? Pangtanga. That quite chick one that can be with Yada to the body now. You might only be with Pangtanga. Quite punches, quite punks, they might sit to jump, Chapel don't jump, quite punks. You know, they made me sunga, the name, Milus to the young, the ma, means Gawa to the door. They talk with his 제마찬가지로 고글로 저다 보면은 저도 베이스는 나다 부시 가도가 나다 보고 그 버스나 시작나 슈즈 버스나 만 소모나 미시 뉴바나 사마나 이나 코디 똑똑시 저자 이나 코 밀리 탑스나 코치는 세발을 잡고 있어 코좀 얘다서 사람이 저도 사세만 투세만 나렌다 투세는 이나 스페셜 보다 아칸이 다서 약간 미지거나 다고 지도 자체도 시제도 이 과 양당데 지도 셀잖아. 이 저다도 주소보다 속하는 거. 이 예벌서 코가 양세는 거. 이나가 페고 소스나 아미 뭐 바자 주스도 나. 야 전체 이나가 대단히 있는데 지지잖아. 많이 지잖아. 대자고르잖아. 조금만 셈 그런 거 상고 연구시 나 확실히. 그런 거 상고지 연단 자원치 주잖아. 이 제스부 요한 배연 요한 이나가 그런 거 상고 맨나 이 나사서 내가 드링상 많이 먹고 컴피티션 나서도 많이 차가는 먹고 컴피티션 차도 예뻐 배지보다 나랑 시스템이 다 드링 다 털이 많이 차는데 이거 뭐만 잘해 털이 많이 떠나 차나 이제 차당 차는 거다 당이 나당 김세 정말 차도 당 차는 많이 양증 잘하다 이거 김세 그만 아마리 그 정말 차도 당아 차고 싶어서 이거 so my relative my own relative 나랑 스피기하면 먼저 보세요. 나 많이 찾는, 나만 많이 찾고 싶어. 내가 많이 직접 단단 많이, 나만 시야 톡, 나만 바바제레스가 서바지다. 나 심지어는 그냥 배워. 지금 많이 집단이 되는데 찾나. That's very good attention. 잘해요. 제 참, 아가 나다 동파상만 찾, 마찬가지 양측 잘하나. 이거 하는. That's how they go. So that's no benefit. I will say, I will definitely say that there is no benefit. You know, so what's the difference? Jadi dena nangsi matang sama ta, itu 통해 다 걸어야나. matang. That's how we are like now. And then of course we now matang sama 이 하고 오시스 no. nisbapo. 인지 세계 보다 이제 그냥 이 question이요. 인지 세계 보다 또 인지 세계 뭐 가족식 연구시스 이노가. 미가지가 인지 영함이다. 가식 영도. 미가지가 싸면 인지 가족 연구세요. That many people may have that question. Now, how will we have compassion for others? You know, what kind of, Ningji 가지고 용서는 now Ningji will only come with the understanding now. There's nothing. You have to understand the other's suffering and the cause of suffering. That's most important. You know, 왜냐면은 rangi 빌다 빼랑 지하는 점은 미치지 못해. 만제스. You always give an example for yourself first. You know, run space for. Akas kiji chapena looks beyond. You just have to think one thing that okay, it's suppose, in example, or it's suppose if I am this dog staying outside in the rain, how I will feel. This is very important. Rangi luna pela jana never misheji. That's what the Buddha has said. You always have to keep yourself as an example before you think of others, to understand the other's suffering. Aha teaching Javana, aha teaching Suana. In example, like in this world now, every minute, every second, there's a million of animals are killing. You know, millions of animals are, slaughtering. Suddenly, it's someone teaching this, now how to compassion is 가족식 찾고 싶습니다. 통한 인지식 가족식 좀 보실 수 없잖아. 뭐만 랑이는 스페라. You have to put yourself as an example. Saying that 치즈 보시면 랑가 스캅식 따나 년도. 이남이도 아카니 미시 캅식 굴때 용나 랑에 나빠 캅식 좁나 차도. 이남이도. So at the same time, 관 랑이 캅은 얘네면 관 지가동 얘네는. That's what we have to understand. So this is a very important. So today my main topic I wanted to give as a compassion in action now. That's what I've been talking about. I recently came back from Europe. So I've been talking. All my topics are in that one. Compassion with action now, or in action now. Not just talking. Love in action, compassion in action. This is very important now. This is the time to do action, not the time to just to say. So we call it love in action, compassion in action. So this is what you all have to do it for our better future. How can we make a better future, Ladakh? More better, more beautiful. How? Let us be separate. This is very important. And second thing, as I always repeat, as a Ladakhi children, it's very, very important that you should, wherever you are, whatever you do, you should never ever forget that you are Ladakhi. And you should never ever forget that the Ladakhi culture. That's one of my main. This is the only thing that what we can show now. Now I've seen many of the Ladakhi children, they forget their culture, they forget their language, they forget, many of them they don't know. This is very, very sad news. Until today, Ladakh is what? I will say I'm also Ladakhi. We have nothing. What we have? What do we make? I think now, 1 or 2, few years ago, I think Ladakh started to make some juice and produce some, some small things, I think. Other than that, we don't make anything. We don't have anything to sell out. We don't have anything to show. The only thing what we have is our rich culture. Just because of that. Now you see in Ladakh, almost 80% of the people of Ladakh are related to the tourism. Travel agency, taxi driver, this and that, all this and that. Why all these tourists come? It's all because of Ladakhi culture. So it's very important, wherever you are in Chandigarh, doesn't matter. You can stay in Chandigarh, you can stay in America, wherever you stay. But you always have to remember that you are Ladakhi and you have your own culture. That's very important. And you always have to ready to wear your own clothes, ready to speak your own language, ready to cook your own food. Wherever you go, any of you here, wherever you go in the world, I will guarantee you that no one will ask you how to wear a pant, how to cook a pizza. No one will ask you. No one will ask you. But many people may ask you how to wear Ladakh conchas, how to cook Ladakhi food. Many people may ask you, but no one will ask you how to wear a t-shirt and how to wear pants. You have no worries about that. No one will question you that. So you always have to be ready. This is very important. Through your culture, culture is the only one that you can. I will say, when you go out, if you really wanted to look, if you really wanted to show off, if you really wanted to be proud of yourself, then the only thing you can show off is your culture. With wearing a pant, you cannot show anything. Especially for Madam Mahatma Gandhi, I always put an example. Mahatma Gandhi and many of our very old, such a, very knowledgeable, very educated, such a famous people, whether it's a British or whether it's Indian. Mahatma Gandhi talks in a company with compared to that time, that is the young but this on the mechanic and company with God machines yamka, condition God machines he's one of the most educated person in India or in the world, whatever you say. But have you ever seen, wherever he go, some now she speaks Hindi na. It doesn't mean that he don't speak English. Wherever he go, he wears his own clothes. Indian this dhoti. That's you see that. There is some me kespa in the door. You take kespa in. Not engineering, not doctor in the try actually, this is a very stupid person actually. You take mechanic. Ladas per two years, Ladas per proud in the balloon contest, the bench contest, and the ties it up the channel. Eat temper, me, temper, really. he is really the most stupid person. Yunten something he is really Yunten Pomana Majikino. Ko Yunten Pomana Del Mashizino. You know, this you have to understand it. In example, like what I'm trying to do in my school, I just wanted to share one very small thing, just to give you an example. You know, especially when Lada's culture, Shin Indian Barai, Samara. So when Dena Shasta Lada's was true, it is a Mapuch, not Dorshan, Mapuch Lakshan, Mapuch Shesan. So when Dena Shasta Siguli, Matan Chisel, the curriculum that I'm in the took now, what was something. From this year now, in this March, now once I open my school, I'm going to teach Naman Sunnah. I'm going to teach Ladaki how to cook stew, chudai, in some class tuesday. Ladas Dache class tuesday. Ladas the course class tuesday. Ladas the artist remote teachers class tuesday. You know, Ladas the Pusa Pume Kolam teachers class tuesday. Ladas the Jumlu teachers class tuesday. So there Ladas the Jumlu 7 to 8 different kinds of classes that are what I'm making in my school. So when they pass out from my school, can they make computers to the last 2 years? Concept songs say Yana, but suppose that can just watch you in a journal. Yana artist just watch you in a journal. Yana cook just watch you in a journal. You know, can you make some last and can you make just a young to if you want to become rich, if you want to become famous, you have to sit in front of the computer. You have to sit on one chair which moves like this. Not everybody is looking very forward to sit on the front of the computer and move your chair like this. This is stupid, you know. Nowadays, in the world, some of the most richest, one of the most richest person, he's an artist. He draws and he becomes the most famous and most richest. He writes his book and he becomes the most richest. You know, you all have to understand the Ladakhi culture. Rana Yudishu, Rana Skat, Karuchana, Karudogna, Ladas with Chuguji Yene Pala, he Hava Ushispo, Manachino. No, this is what I wanted to share with you all. And Zopo, in main thing, Rana Sujetwada, you know, that's our two sabo. Jetwaba, Yada Yokush is not you know. In example, like Matan Chizerno, Ladam Zakelpo, Tenemana Matai, on my history in Tasasopa, on Mizampujica, with a very great human nature, with a great kind of like a smiling face. This is the history you told us as that's with me, then you know, the emotion in your pot, that's also history. But now, doing some, of course, the situation is totally changing. But still, it's very, very important. That's why you go to get someone. It's very, very important that you should keep smiling. You should keep, you know, what do you call it? Your culture. Choose them, young boy. Culture is another choose. You know, basically, another in Taiwan, the Basasa. Another person is the church, then you know, is our own responsibility. Church that you can church, the Omani baby, who's the church, the diameter. Let us be too in a pada. Church like that, that I always talk. You let us be too cut to another. Some cases, they put that young wishes. Madame Ranasu church like that young wishes. That, you know, you have to have some kind of like a, what do you call it? Saying that this is my religion, this is my country, this is my language. You know, in example like, especially, but I'll just give one example like Muslim community. You know, I really respect them from my heart, bottom of my heart. Of course, I have in all over the world. I have different kinds of now friends. different kinds of, friends who are from different kinds of religion. Samshik Shasta Tatu. In example, like Muslim, like Ladakhi, we are very close to Muslim. You know, Muslim, Ladakh, Jammu Kashmir, Takaru. Kongoni Shasta Samshik Zewalu. You know, Samshik Teni, Chung, Loma Chugiji Pada, Goaka Jidokship, Tivika Puship Konamido, Pomokunina, Animate Go, Capture Mido. Even though they don't know anything, but they start doing this. Chumani men, Matok Chuzi, Napaka, Lam Chusi, Church Mido. Direction Ladas was Chuguni, Madame Ladas, Abba, and the Chugu and Zedamido. Church Mechanic, Silvos, engineer Gurushes, contractor Gurushes, need to go. Very sad. You don't want it, need to go, but the Ladas Church, Madame Sankis, the body, Konampe Chugushino, Kochu, Madame Mamma, Church, Madame Mamma, Podpuju, Manito, Orapuju, Makon Kodwa. Something about Achubuchi, Chubu, engineer, Halabu, you don't get money. Musliman and Lisa, Kadushi Church. The non Machine Common Trust didn't somebody Nama Yakes Church, you know what? Madame Nambasa is in a one point of view. Chokchik is done, Madame Nambasa is for church for Manas in Targes, somebody Kasoma, Yawa issues of Buddha, Nama Yawa, Nama Tiring, Nama Kitchen, Nama Yawa issues of good suspect. It has been flourishing all over the world because of the Buddha's teaching, the Buddhist philosophy is much more deeper, much more meaningful, much more, suitable for the nowadays people in this generation. Semi-Tonga spiritual, more suitable. Just a scientist church for Yen and Pinjawa teaching, scientist church for me, Sigla Yinam, then it's 7 of suitable you can church. Then I said, scientist church, Chick Mazama, scientist church, one of us is getting, 84,000 different types of teaching he gives. She is 84,000 different kinds of teaching. She won't know. Chick more special for the Gating T-shirt chick just now. T-shirt just then I talk to just Nisa from the ones and special for them. Congenno, Nisa Kashiki, Galanapo Tadero. No, Kashiki design Jetta Tadero. Kashiki design Megana Tadero. No, Kashik any long T-shirt, remote, Kashik V shirt Tadero. Kashik round shirt Tadero. T-shirt chick just Nisa Same conscious, me Kashiki conscious, Nisa some of the pentok to just not has this is T-shirt, 84,000 T-shirt just up now, different. You just touches on. You can just really touch the Kuja money. Me teaching on me teaching on the chessmen of touches. Some really pushes. Science is just what you know. Unique. Science is just sometimes different, the most kind of precious and different, I will say, special of Madame Science is just on cheer. That's a T-shirt is a Makoji, you can understand. Science is just me, man, project for them, pitches the shoes you know. Me, man, cheddar, Ninji, you can go now, shoes. Ninji, Megan, Ninji, teaches shoes. So was in Yamlet, Mamma, Makoyo, you know. Then I just Madame Nambasa is for church for, dealing some special with the Dama, Japanese, which one was on Europe, the youngster. You can for a Buddhist church, the Namchukan, Mamma Koyo. Chokchik Dada. That's one in Chokchik Inspirata. Chokchik Inspirata now one point of view. Madame Sangis is about my Yamin. How about it? Madame Mamma Yamin, Yamin Chestnut. Yam Koshes for Chia Yamsino. I will share this with you all. Yam Koshes was said, Sangis is trustful. Madame Mia Hamamo. Sangis is trust Yala Milos and the Yamsino. Metal. Madame is trust Jokan Mikuna. That mechanism in Yamsino. In order. Trust Jokan Mikuna. Basically, one drink some. Do it, that you can Mamma do it. Sangis is the bar. 만나서 남바 산에서 인 세트만이 스페셜 보는 다음 같이 무슨 마음으로 이나 라스 지당 지식 저는 지당 지식 각신직이었나 프라이데이 세상 칸이 맨 찾고 싶어 마나 바로 다음은 지 점식 각신직이었나 미팅직이었나 팡스데 찾고 싶어 이 점식 최다 나도 요번에 잠시 각신직은 에어포트가 있나 가루지가 있나 그러면은 Thuksey Rinpoche thinks that just for Jodoan. Now, all over the world, every airport they provide a prayer room just to be done. It's something just not you know. I think it's just that you just you know that part of each you know. You know. And I'm saying, Shadi Zajes is now. Musliman is church now. Shadi Zacho is Zamichok says, don't company special for them. I don't spoke that it comes Zamidon. Young Shakashi comes Zadon. 이나 자촉 되게 뭐 자도 잠미촉 되게 뭐 잠은 스테이 시시서 뭐 나빠로 도와면 돼. 자체사 뭐라 나빠로 통을 주하면 돼. 거의 대상 주죠. 나타만 나와서니서 상계 줄때 지원돼. 신호. 샵 많은 생sem제의 동행 이상시 뭔지 나와. 샵 많은 마사부지 잠미고시 추스 나와. 나타만 지 통다 통마다 나타 나와서니서 스페셜리 나와. 나타의 스페셜리 나와. 영지 고시 스페셜 지 고시는 많은 미사게지 고시스 나와. 다 많은 미사게지 뭐 마상 지 교대 나서는 상마사게지 교대 나와. 지 땅나사 지금 땅나사 바닥 땅나사 야 땅나사 야 땅나사 자지 땅나 남바 상에서 나 땅나사 처음에 나는 게 만나면 야 이노 콘셉트가 야 남바 저거 되게 남바 지금 만내는 거랑 해서 그러니까 아주 저번에 보잖아요. 게스트 영상을 가봐. 드링냐 게스트 너 남바 지도 같이 있는 지도 남바 어떻게 남바 내는 같이 찌잖아. 제가 참아나. You know. So it's a shameful actually. You know. 내 정보에서는 이동면 없거든. 정보에서는 아까 상대사 restriction 제시했어. 아까 아세리 나 댐바가 남바사니까 가족식 보시는 거는 샤토서 샤만 이사 파마 심제 탐제 랑이 심제 탐제 랑이 파마이 마이뉴 남바토님 심제 탐제 랑이 파마이 나다 샤만 자면 아노 심제가 남상에 뭐 만나면 심제 탐제 파마이 되는 샤만 낙방 이런 미통 용어시 나와 나다 벗바 나다서 되는 거 샤면은 누구도 기억이 안 되는 샤면은 뉴바도 찾아와 누가 돼 샤미도 되는 게 많아 그럼 빨리 송바 totally opposite. That's why Sanjay said that nyam koshes putu nyam kito. You know what I mean? Somba, tang Sanjay said that dempa ngana mi kazuk she koshes no. Dempa dili nge zera bido. Mani chemi nge zera ngan peji kona minis yongte ali. Ye ha Buddhist yin se minis yongte. Chikpa kaomani bido mani kanta bido ne. Chikta duken miji da yale. Chik pomana shamana misa, changmana mitung, zunmana midang, pomana migus. Yapa jeba tsafe nas mana michoke zoshi minis ni ikanena gago na pai no ni iwo min na pai no se ponjo ino that's very important ti yapa ni mana shabi zaki changmi tong ke zunmi tang chotpa sa mo ti no yapa mana chozo ke so ino dizoshi ke thok na na ni no boshe se no so ba anyhow ni peshi kona ta drink sa mo dizoshi ba ne dizoshi yodu ta we have all that understand. You know, that's basic one. Again, I'll give you one example. Tadi mana ladas beda sulit, yang, you know, jadi saya ladak Sanjay sistem pan nyam dua, just, ini sampai sistem na, nyamin cina cina no, cisa kantor ne, you know, ni jangtang seret, basic one, mata staff mi, you know. 나다가 나타나게 나다 남바 상계스페이스 대파다 잡도 주변 나다 나다 스페이스 추고 도와 나타내서 많은 용이 나옵니다. 도와네. 남배 정파지기나 뭐 주고 망고했나 주고 쏘. 이노가 양나 주고 니스 다들이서 또 주고 찍다 니스로 니서 하나만 매기로. 이노 지도잖아. 고장도 빼니 망고 차도 파단도 그랬지 너. 이노가 만은 마 주고 망고에다 하래 제는 수비에 you know, one month ago, 1 month, there is a number of scientists, Lada, Tempa, Dor, Tempa, yes, Dor. Teaching Aba Aman to Secretary. How was it? Aba Aman would eat some scientists and Tempa, that you is not a 다 기억하는 장소 권 죽을 죽돈 개리는 예전부터 정말 아와 예전부터 망치고 열어서 말 그리고 나랑이는 나랑 분야가 죽여요 맞아 브라더스 죽여요 권 지죠 내년마다 주고 보자 잠시 좋았나 못 받은 직도 내년마다 양 아한 직도 이거 직도 줘도 고마 방쳐도 당나 보자시 줘나 보자니 줘도 내가 보자니 줘도 나 저번에 부채 남아 부채 고마 부채 도와도 성과는 계속 시작 배시보는 이미 뭔가 이점 친구 장소 좋아. 정말만 잡아 순대 진짜 배라야 돼. 대단한 시는 직세 공부 이점 친구 장소 좋아. 스피드 공부 이점 친구 장소 좋아. 딱 공부 이점 친구 장소도 시작하는 나타나 아바 돈이 스만에 상계시 대파고 대체세 펴 장소 그런 되게 디스나 가리메기는 장 몰르자 되면도 지지리자 되면도 정말 내가 예배가 신고 도와고 근데 공부 이점 친구 공부 장소 장사하면 장사기 이런 독한 상계시 대파 여러 쪽은 최선을 코란도 주고부터 이너 주고부터 공부하는 두스트링 소가 공간에 내는 가진 것 두스트링 소가 맞이야 딱상하나 상계시 대파 이마샤기 요칸도 여동식이 요식이어도 수식 요 최선 자기는 상관 아마 통보도 두시 가진다 딱상하나 나다가 이너 이삼십 요 되게 되는 다 드리상 시사 공부 치모자는 공부 잡아면 되는 힘이 뭔가 잡아매는 거, 용심하니. 이너 직접 뭔가 이점 친구에 있어서 잡아매는 거, 잡아맨나? 상계에서 내 바깥에 기야. 이너 주말 대신 저건저나 주말 저건 매는 거. 제에서는 죽음만을 맺어서 죽음 인조시 지도는 아바하고는 단 매냐. 쌍거라서 못 봤다. 쌍 아직 내일 너 지금 이너 오빠 간했어. 안돼. 라인 계속다 나빠 상계에서 내가 간했어. 이너 얘가 원래 just feminist tradition 자 그쪽 tradition 조금씩 좀 딱만한 데서 조금씩 더 빼고 이노가 되게만 나 이제 같은데 조금씩 쳤을 때 되나 좋아 다 나오는 다 다른 색 먹고 있는 조금이 되나 자 담이 좋아해 다 디렉션 오빠 냠차 좋아해 준비 내 냠차 좋아해 다 배지보는 남만 때야 때 유전 스쿨 지을 거 중중 순 뭐냐면 다시 스쿨 직직 안 했을 때 그래서 죽은 맨 스쿨 직 뭐냐 제가 죽은 용성에서 다 스쿨이 대한 거다 스쿨 직직 그거 그러면 스쿨 어디는 죽은 사람이 지금 주의해야 그래서 많이 매냐 성과 that means 이 사람이 죽은 사람이 그나마 상계에서 때문에 그냥 나타나 산화 연구실에서 we all have to worry now it's not that 나마지 저 저마지 저 나타 섬에 상과 연구실 최 나바 산에서 최저 나타 섬을 라고 했던 거지 이 미치당에서 라고 했으면 되는 거죠. 무슨 마음으로 최 개도 가족 개도 미개도 나와요. 그래서 최저기 뭐 두사 미에 두세 나와요. 직바다 한바 뭐바 두세면 이노 힘이 뭐바 이땅 치고 있는 힘이 보면 짱 기다리면 없고 뭐바 다친지 유스도 뭐는 한장 되면 이 나고 미고시에서 상계에서 때만 야주는 최 순간 최 저간 미고시에서 애들 상계에서 때만 야주와요. 무슨 마음으로 보시면 강바 죽은 잠도 막 용용을 다 용쇼지나 죽은 나이 담보요 이니디사마 돈겐구 주식 중에서 보여요 이노가 나랑 시스템 지겨 이 뉴스 가르쳐 뭐 대단한 배워 I always give that example 예전 사실은 저때요 얘는 나랑 시스템 무슨 말 지겨 그 아까도 에미레이트 만나 지서 아까 사우디스 미들리스트 mana apa tuh, mana cukup ini kan, beda di situ kan, kau cukup ni je tu, sebenarnya mana cukup ni je. Tak kau mana banyak email dia, dua email dia. Dalam sih ada dua cik terang, mana email cik dia. Kau jadi ni nombor posilah cik ni cukup nombor posilah itu, ini pusat apa cukup ini apa, he have like hundreds of 다 지도 complain 주급이야 이 고작도 완전 주급이야 지금 내는 동안 whenever he writes to me he has something about his children because he has so many you know 마음 보여서 주급 중에 가서 찍지는 찍지하면 찍쓰는 you know 맞아 송가서 주급 중에 여기서 셨을 막 complain 방법 송가서 장치 보이는 이면 진짜 그리고 이면 막 주급 스콜라만 보이면 진짜도 맞아 아랑 mana 장관 납치자만 머리는 이 죽어지는 then I said near the place you know, email ko jibne ma ta jong kanya ko, you know, nyara ma chubu pia ma sarga ma bodu, ma tene song ma chimodu, isu ke ma na sapa ma na isu chubu ma chi just the ma na sapa ta ko sa isu just as a fun, you know, joke just in just, you know, then it's a very it's such a headache for users, yeah. Isu chi just थोड़े तो मुझको ना लर्न हो गए इतना लर्न डेमो चीज़ है पर ना सब ऐसे फिचर चीज़ कम चीज़ है लर्न चीज़ है कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है नो ज़रूरत मैं चुगो भी अच्छा कर रहा माँ मज़ा कर रहा तो मैं चुगो चिक सिला में तो चिक छाना चिक पेनी दाम बार बार चुगो मंगो सब पर थमा एजुकेशन जो कर माँ काफी वाला ये ना माँ चुगो मंगो चुग दो ज़रूरत माँ गंपा माँ ना है ज़रूरत I have no regret at all ज़रूरत ना माँ गंपा में each and every time, every minute, every second, I feel very proud of myself that it is. 예, religion 편독세요. 걔네 만 와도 걔네 스미티 잠시니 contribution 예 최선이야. 이성이 민중이 스폰도 민중이 나는 다 다른 민중이 최선. 이노 걔네 마시 시랑 예 미보 민중이 good 맞췄다 그러고 걔네 나만 스케어 방법이잖아. 예 걔네 donation 전화도 예 걔네 프로젝트고 걔네 걔네 알라에 접속하피야. 이 잠시 걔네 편독 친구 자체에서 I trust you for something, but I have something. I have I have lots of money. I have many years. I have I checked up many years. I have trust I feel myself and very proud that it is. I feel very proud of you that it is. You know what? This is sperare. This is not young. In other sperare. You know, this is not she in a that's young bushes. That mechanism, Nata suggests tempo. So, Nata suggests tempo the tempo. You know, Matai. Now, it's a Sakajo bushes to see. Nata Sunday Sakajo bushes the one. Michigan is Meno. So was there is another function. Let them look what have Jomos Lord Jewish. I'm worried about the future. I'm just telling you. I'm worried about what will happen after 10 years in the dark. Because our population is really going down now. You know. Need mana mechanism. Mana mechanism. In the summer, there is school soon going up and a you know. Mass. Church in the Tanamima, unfortunately. You know, compared to any other, our population is very, very small. Young bushes put you on that mechanism. Someone money do you just want to give your own kind of like that. You know, near Kamala Chichana, not to which Jonah, not to bushes may do this for you know, someone is someone that stops you on that all the monasteries are becoming almost empty. Gomba is a that bunch, that Tompacha, Tompa, you know what? So, this is very important as a Chugogo nature, especially Chugogo near Jogoshesko. You all have to think about it. Okay? You all have to keep in your mind that all this kind of situation is happening. You know. And of course, what do you call it? This is not for our Ladakh, this is not a time for a family planning. This is not that time. No, this is and this is not our duty right now. It's not a time has come. It's only for the way some country where they are like overpopulation. That time they drew such called birth control, such called family planning, but not now. In the dark, we have a problem of less population, not more population. That's very important. You all have to understand that, right? So these are the very, very basic things that I don't want to talk so many into it. Like So now, even though if I choose Rinpoche Zen Dona, I know that many of you will not understand also. Rinpoche Khaan Guameno, Kates Hafona, which choosing Yamen Chokan and Ejabune, you can bet in the mountain. Ejabune is Yawi, Chugo, Sigano. This is Rinpoche choosing, yet on one is called Zen Dona, Mama Rinpoche Zen Dona. You know, Ejabune Khaan Guameno, and also you will not practice also. And most important, what I do today in mountain Jesus Benzena, our basic things, which are very, very important and one very, very basic, is a foundation as a being a Ladaki, as a being a Buddhist. Nampai Chuji in Nepal. You know, Yamashi the Boma, Nampai in some say Boma, Napo, me with Nampai knows the Mokazu Hako wishes. You know, in the reason Janashi. Nampai in the Mokazu, get Chanaji, but the way Nampai in general the Hako wishes on him, you know. Oh, in the last scholarship, what you will eat and buy in general, and how will you say no? There is some channel for making chat of you know, even some girls, they wear this like this, it looks a concept, they want to do that. You know what? So, in Nampa, you know, that the Mokazushi, the Habo wishes, not quite Chepeka, that's the Habo wishes. Quite Sepeka, that's the Habo wishes. You know what? Jama Habo wishes, quite Chepeka, that's it. Chepa Kazushi wishes, Sham Mizaki, Chang Mitonkin, Zud Mitankin, could not be good. Yet some change the Doyan Thomas lose the Nemana, Cesar, Sema, Tana Yokanji, then Yokanji, Depart Yokanji, Compassion Yokanji, make a Michu Yokanji, the Zuxi, Matana Pasanjas was and the Zubutu Yacheno. You know, Kaji Sham Mizaki, you know, Paraji Tana, then it dominated, then Matan Cesar. Then Jensen Chapo, my girl, the Zukas is Paramidam. You know what? That's how we have to now have to be. You know, this is very important. So my what do you call it? The main thing what I'm trying to say is that now be a good human being. That's all. My simple teaching. My basic teaching, simple teaching only is that to everywhere, Karuchana, Yulijiga Chana, Jagajiga Chana, I Tuishika Tuna, then I said, me some position, Bomaka, you know, be a good human being. That's very, very important. If you be a good human being, everything is there. Sanjis church, Kazushika, Yamni Jana, Johnny Chesano. You know what? Deep Manpa, Kazushika Manichi, Duncan Jana, you know what? So that's why I walk. That's why Mahombe Matas Ladas with Chubu Ijabu Dajini Zakanajila. Once Mahombe Matas Ladas with Sangis Chesa from the Ina. Then I said Matan Jidelis from this Peratana. Mahombe Ijabu Pak Change in Kenya. That's why I want to walk very, very closely with the youth now. That's why I try to help the Ladaki, what you call it, education. Which is very, very important, Ladakana, education for, you know what. So, and I hope that in the future also, that I can visit Chandigarh again and again. And I hope that I can also contribute something to you, all the children, all of you, boys and girls who are studying in Chandigarh. This time I really was thinking of coming for your Losar celebration. But unfortunately at that time I was in London. But I saw all your. This is very important that you should celebrate with a proudly your own New Year. You know, this is very, very important. One point of Mikashi Zetu, Zerganium, Nadas, Abamakashi Zetu. Silvo Masila, Losar Joy looks there. You know. Sila Lamchus, Silvo Masela, Losar Joy looks there. This is not right at all. You know, very important. Anytime, every time, like all this kind of. That's why in Peshikuna Dilia, just want to share one thing. Dilia, Lodas is Chubukun Same, Jodupan, Lodak every year, Jodupan, Lodas Losaji, Jodu. You know, they do it good there. Or they do it in Manjukutila, Yakazukima Justina, Javakushima Jodupan, which many people don't understand, and many Indian people, they don't know what's happening. It's very important that Ladakh temple, Lempa, Kilo, Pingston, something how go to Bush. Then I just this time we have in a very grand treatment. Like we spent a lot, and we met very big. Maybe you must have seen some existed. Much more. Only because that it's very important that we have to show our culture, we have to proud ourselves, we have to know that all people, everyone in India should know that what is Ladakh, where is Ladakh, who is Ladakhi. And it's also important that we should now is the time to also to get the support from the government, because we are all for many years we have been neglected. We have been neglected somewhere up there. Ladakh been towards you know, Ladakh been now it's time to show our own culture, time to come out, and it's very important. Whatever we do, we should not do just in we have to come out and we have to proudly present the Ladakh in the world. This is really the time. That's what I'm trying to do. Especially wherever I go this time, all over the Europe, I've been talking about Ladakh everywhere. You know. This is not because of today I'm also here. I go everywhere. In my school, I woke up every morning at 5 o'clock and I go to hostel and I do everything until 10 o'clock in the evening in the hostel. I stay in the hostel. Not because of everything I do all this, I want to work very closely with all the Ladakhi children, Ladakhi youth. I want to, do something for the Ladakhi society. Not because of I'm a Rinpoche. As I always say that. I'm not doing anything. I'm today here not because of I'm a Rinpoche. My Rinpoche means I'm meeting with all the Ladakhi children, as I am in whether I speak in English or whether I speak in Tibetan, whatever language I speak, but I mean, my bone, my blood, my skin is Ladakh. Ladakh is very important that Ladakh to have your own society is very important. So I always feel that's my duty. That's why I'm here today. That's why I came yesterday from there to Delhi and here, and tomorrow I'm going back to Delhi. And I'm trying to spend most of my time in Delhi not because of I'm Rinpoche. Please understand this. Whatever I do to the society of Ladakh, even the dog problem, kids, we should have a better society. I wanted to educate the Ladakhi society. I want to do something to Ladakh just because I'm being a Ladakhi. Not because of I'm someone. I will say I'm lucky, I'm privileged to have some capability. I have some kind of capable, like that's my lucky, I will say, and lucky of you all, I will say, you just want to make it 66 years that's it. Spawashing told me now. You just chicken and you not to join chest. Just being a Duksaji Duna, you just my own, I cannot do it. That looks the pentamen of it. You just your looks the Nakato, looks the and no other good. You get to use a Morgan, look at the pentamen of it. Kato left last 20 inches in body. So I wanted to serve the Ladakhi society. And I'm still young, and you're all very young. I know most of you are, I'm also 28. Many of you must be 28, 29. These are trying functions of them, So now it's very important for our future Ladakh. We all should come together. We all should work as a team, hand to hand, and we should serve our own society. That's very important. I will do the leader. You all should come. You know, of course there are many leaders also. You know, so that's why I want to request you all. That's why I'm talking about the population of the Dharma. That's why I'm talking about all these things. You know. Matani church and temple. Peshimona na lamaji ikin chula inpasam. Peshimona na those things na kadu dugu shesi no. Na gompa dugu shesi no. You know, lama is called the doorman of one. Lama school the hostel na su chana. School the hostel na warden chana. You know what? House mother chana. You know what? They will not go. Lama zaken no chi no to jukan chi no. You know what? Chi to jukan ka shu sang chi no. You know what? But what I do a little bit differently. What I do is I try to come down as much as I can. Come down to with you all. You know what? I don't like staying up in a monastery. I like to come down. I like to be with you all. I like to be with the society. I like to help in the environment. I like to help in education. I like to help in the medical. All these things, whatever is needed. Because why I do this? Because I feel this is a Dharma. Just in that, Japan Church is said that Jana Pentox Chana Church did. Can you make church that you put it on those days? When it's just the way church is Zerakan. Church again for young state, you know what? Yes, Nama Pompoji, Natok Chusei, Jibeka, young state, Kandan Sada, Tun Sada. How about that? You know, Natok Chusei, Super Jiba, young state, Tun Sada, Chusei, Chupa Dubash, Tun Jolamano, 4 p.m. Or Chus the Bora, Jesus, Tun Sada, you know what? That's different thing for me. What I do, rather than really pray, I get up morning at 4:30 and 5 o'clock, I run to hostel. Come on. And I go from, we have about 4 houses, 4 girls' house, and I go every minute. I spend I spend like half an hour each house, girls' house and boys' house. What I do, I woke them up, I make them wash their face, I make them brush their teeth, I make them wear their uniform. Very clean, very nicely, everything very disciplined. And what I do is why I think this is a truth. You know, this is a Sangye system by the Japdok Sena. Society the Japdok Sena. Gyewa Sena. This is what I think. Even though I can't get up morning at 4 o'clock into Tuntang Mashesna. You know? So this is what we needed right now. You know. Environment talk and last week with another. Me and environment, Nama environment to last week and sweep. Environment that can take some creams that can put. No, I say you know. Sa, Chu, Me, Long. She's an Amatang Sangma. Sa, Chu, Me, Long, and Hakshin, you know, Zena. You have to understand that we are very much interdependent. Atang Sangma, Chiki, Ragas. We are very much interdependent. We are interdependent. Respect we are all interdependent. Dependent each other. We feel that depend you have to understand. Especially all the young boys and girls should understand. Your whole life you are dependent on many things. You cannot instantly run chipo in the Pulina to be adjustment now. First thing, Sachu Melung you are dependent on earth. That's why you are sitting right now. If there's no earth, where you will sit? So that's why you have to take care of the earth. That's why you have to clean. You know? That's why. And then now choose enough. You are dependent on water. We all. Birds are dependent on water, dogs are dependent on water, we all are dependent on water. Without water, we can't, without food maybe we can stay one whole day, but without water, we are difficult to stay even one full day. We are dependent on water to live our, life and disappear. We are dependent on water. So that's why water is also so important. That is also the one we should respect. Nothing else. Because we are dependent on each other. We are dependent on water. Of course, you all are studying, you know much better than about environment more than me, I think. In my school, sometimes I learn from my children, what's the environment. So of course I don't have to explain, but you have to understand this. So now, animals also, cows, we are dependent on milk. What we wear, everything what we wear, what we carry, everything is from animal. What we eat, everything is from animal. Biscuit is that, basically biscuit is we buy biscuit. It's also, again, without animal, without a cow, without milk, without cheese, there's not even a biscuit. You know, everything. Food is also because of earth, because of water. If there's no water, if there's no earth, there's no food also. You know, so everything, you know, because if you are not there, I'm not there. I'm here, that's why you're here today. You know, so everything depends on each other. Someone depending on we have to depend on you because of your mother, you are here, because of you are this. So everything is dependent on each other. That's why we have to love each other now. We have to care each other. That's why environment is also very important. Not only a scientific point of view, even a spiritual point of view, the environment, taking care of the environment is also very, very important. That's why I want to do a lot of activities on the environment also. Especially a place like Ladakh, such a desert, dry environment is so important to plant a tree, to plant and do this and that. You know, it's also your responsibility now to make Ladakh green, to make Ladakh clean. Not only my responsibility, you all should have responsibility that you should not throw plastic. You should behave yourself. You should teach your children, like, really, I'm sorry to say, but many of the Ladakhi boys and girls, they are really spoiled. I don't know where they are coming from, Chandigarh, where they are coming from Jammu, where they are coming from Delhi, but very, very spoiled. They are, some of them are worse than that. They are ashamed to say that they are Ladakhis. How they speak, how they talk, you know, how much they drink, and how uncompassionate they are. How bad they are. When I see them, you know, I'm having a tear in my eye. I feel ashamed to say that I'm a Ladakhi. You know, when I see them sometimes. I've seen, I don't want to share all the names and everything today here, but I've seen some of the boys and girls, how they, you know, how they present Ladakh in outside. You know, really, some people, my friend, one of my very good friends, he said, Ladakhis are disgusting. He said that because of just some of the boys and girls, how they behave. So that's why all of the children over here today, boys and girls, whatever you do, please, you have to understand that you are representing Ladakh here. You are not representing Yara Amino Amoina. It will always come to the Ladakh. Ladakh speak to words, but Ladakh you so, Ladakh speaks to you have to be very careful because you are carrying the name of yourself, your parents, your village, and your own country. I mean, Ladakh. So it's very, very important. You know, you just teach you proud. You know, so you all here, each and every you are here representing Ladakh, representing a whole Ladakh. So it's very, very important to behave yourself. No, that's very important. I want to request you all for our future Ladakh. I'm requesting you all this just because I am a Ladakhi. You know. So what these are very important things. So it's already 2 o'clock. I don't know how long I've been speaking. When I start one, then I always go non-stop. You know? So better I control myself, isn't it? Otherwise you will feel that what this crazy man is doing, you know, talking like crazy, you know. But please understand, whatever I say, I feel is very, very important. You know, I hope you may also. You have to think. You have to think yourself whether it's important or not. I will not force you to say that this is important. But Rana life, So this is very important. These are the just very few simple things I wanted to share with you all. And lastly, I want to say one thing is that as I'm always there for the Ladakhi people, for the Ladakh society, people, and on behalf of myself and Young Drupa Association, YDA, we are always ready, and I'm, especially myself, I'm ready to help. I will also telling the president, I'm ready to help whatever you need in Chandigarh for your better, what do you call it, anything. So I hope that I will come back again and again, so that I can also do something for all the students who are studying here in Chandigarh. I'm setting up an office in Jammu, and also we are setting up an office in Delhi, because Delhi also don't have very good office. So I'm going to setting up a proper office in Delhi and Jammu also. And also we are thinking of now more scholarships and lots of other different activities for all the Ladakhi children who are studying out of Ladakh. So I'm not, of course I'm in Ladakh, but I really want to help you all, so you can, maybe not today or any time, but I'm always there to help you, and individually, and also if anyone has an individually problem, can always talk to me, talk to my people. And I'm always there to help you as a Ladakhi, as I am a Ladakhi. Please understand this. Not as I am in Thuksey Rinpoche, okay? As I am a Ladakhi boy, right? Ladakhi young boy. So I'm always here to help you all. Okay? That's what I want to say. And now what do we have? Do we have a Q&A session? You can talk, you can ask me a question related to what I said. Don't ask me a question from somewhere, Then I will take 1 hour to do it. Again, I have to talk again, I have to start a new topic. If anyone has any doubt, any questions, I'll take a few questions. Okay.
Family planning program, which is
Yes.
now using in Tonga teaching Pamaniskin, Pamaniskan, Tonga, Pamaniskin. In any of the Azam participant, Azam Azam Tumapu, suggested Naxangara, Muslim families. Ini artis pengira मतलब एक्सपो मेरा तो अच्छी बात जिस तरह ना इतना मा मेडका ने यल्पा चीज़ टोपा चीज़ इन स्कैम संगे से कुछ रंग कुली आर्टिक अच्छा खाली देने नई कुछ लगते हैं इसके वो चीज़ देता हूँ मेडका मान से चीज़ हम मेडका वो बांग चूज़ करना इसके वो करना मा कुछ चिपोजी क्या होते मिसी बोला तो masih nanti kalau sih nampak chose kalau kisah jadi. Jadi yang pengen tahu disini, jadi ngerana ni jam serga merah sila kancing nam, tahu jaya tu jadi serga merah kalau jadi pasana, pengen bola nampak. Kalau curi ni nampak, sodi kurut berano, kalau kuliah dan cara jadi kali. Dan hamil itu tu sampai ke jam ni guna, dan tu ni guna, curi dia sangat plan hotia next के नाला डॉक्टर गुरु चिकन मैक्स के नाला इंजीनियर गुरु चिकन धारे तत्यो गुरु जाके कुछ पता इसके सकाला जी थपा तो थोड़ी हो अगर सर्चे से तो तब तो क्यों ही न्यापो टू नीस के जो आनो चिक्स के जो आनो वनते टू चिक नीस को लूज तो माची मी जब को शीशा अगर सर्चे से तो तब तो क्यों ही family planning just the two years just the scarce thing ni ona make no shit you know accident charge you know dumping to something mina charge that this thing money the newspaper ji ha chandigarh na the family planning just the two years jo this thing ni kuch chiga jaise ya koi na rusi ya ma skema so kuch no ste niskar no so to sana te super no parents is around 65 age na left ताचू इसका बिल्कुल सामान इसका जब या तो जो मैं पर्सनल एग्जाम मतलब सिचुएशन इन लेफ्ट तो प्ले कौन ते yang चू जो जैसे मिना मान उससे डॉक्टर को नहीं थुक्से yang चू के जैसे मतलब नोपाई जो तंगे जैसे मतलब को जो चे इस तरह ना मतलब इस तरह चिन्हों मतलब गाँव लेवल की जैसा ना मतलब चुगु चोंगा ये पर्सन ते चुगु चोंगा हो तक्सा ना ते चुगु चोंगे ना कि ये फैमिली ना कला ना मुझे नहीं बाकी चोंगा पूरा दान चाहते तो चिचिक चोंगा चुस्ते लो चिचिक लामा चुस्ते लो चिचिक साउथ नसीका लो चिचिक ले चुस्ते लो सुन सीपे नहीं या तक्सा में जिम्माश कितना आगे चोंगा दांते ताज़ेचे से तो ताऊ वंगातां sama kita dalam peringatan sama sila itu kita sampai kita juga juga ngamen di masjid kan itu minjam konten ya jangan siapa tidak mau tidak tujuan dan Arab itu dengan aja itu dia akan sangat sambat
yang ada family plan macam ko trust dan jika इसके कौने समाज इतना थप क्यों तेरा शीला वाले trust तो हमने तेरा शीला मी second को मी लुस्टेन mana आता मी लुस्टेन second को ini sensation masa yawa kita jual curi sama video report cesar मी लुस्टेन second को ini mana sih juga sudah matai sensation ni sama ini sih juga sudah tak cina ini kan just मी second को jual curi sih kalau sekarang just na ini mana मी mampu sih kan ini set ni apa yon jadi itu mah dua deh sompasang ini family plan yang bawa madua ini yul kasihlah coba sistem yul situation depth itu mana population population itu ini mana dah datang tu sih lah itu juga kan mana staff cuma dah basically nanya sini lo kasih sih dah we have found a baby boy in the dustbin there ada cukup top senor di dustbin namanya so in that those days many people called me and many people spoke to me now is this what is happening in the dark and is this what they are doing practice with the Dharma church that they true itu na pinches ko chezaro dustbin na pinches ko naga semje na san choame no semje na ke phamai zete mo go na yo kan shik na san choame no phamai rani lose the get to dustbin na phamna ye la ta switch pa ye no zete ko na jiwa ko de chigya ni no ba so this is very very shameful and as I'm always sharing this with many of the young boys and girls in the dark. Of course, whenever I meet, because I feel from one point of view, it's not really a topic that we have to raise like this, It's a kind of like, for some people, it's a kind of shameful also. But I don't take this as a shameful. I take this as a very serious issue. So that's why I share. And I really agreed what he said also. You know, he said that Rana Suki is just a coach, you know. That church I tell Zuki, you heard the Goma Gulong, you know, Gulong Zamboshi is talking in their part. Like I have this much to go. Then it needs somebody their part. Then Gulong Zamboshi is talking. The Zuki church, Gulong was Zambo, you know, their part true enough. I feel that they will also will go somewhere and do something very, like in a nice way. It is good for Yamba, it is special. There is some true joy on it. Manapara, true Gamba make it, Lapa make it, then is Mana Roshes, Mana Minjari young daughters. It is young Roshes from Zoji, then is Pama Koramuni, Pama the Japok Majus, they just go, you know. Basically, on the drink from the young daughter. Pomokashi, Uzakashi, Pama Zerzanas, and Soko. The name Manas, the Kapana, 4 million ken. Punches, the Nana Shila, Pama, Mana, Japok, Mishuken, young daughter. So that really, this go, then you run to me to it. Mampo, to Germano. Kandes Jordan, the name of to go, like all in such a funny way. So, anyhow, he raised that topic again, so that's why I had to continue a little bit again. But it is something very, very important that you all should understand. That means that you have to. It's important that you all should be educated about this. You know, it's very important. Yes, please next question.
Hello. Girish Kinchenpo Rinpoche, the Then was for you there, my heart was in bed. Then I think that's how it was to similar. There's Mati Dadas for man, but religious Kachana, Dadas Chipuman by young Matidasa, Ladas is studied about Buddhism. So it was similar not those who know Mati Dadas for man by young Janon pushes to the Bush. That's Sikimino, then Dadas Buddhism, Buddhism, Mati nampak sinama similar dicamin untuk kanti kalau then aku lagi kisah orang hal polis tu lah yang mesti komuni mas komuni juga terbaik. Jadi email nama yang mesti imar tu si disaster yang betul pura kita yang patah jadi tu. Nanti nampak sama itu yang patah yang mesti ngasih nampak ini juga jadi semua ni nampak sih nom dengan betul patah. Budaya sih nom dengan budaya sangat sih satu orang mesti semua ni. Bapak tiket macam manageable ya. Ini itu similar, itu similar. Ada sepuman, itu similar mana? Buddhist sepuman, Buddhist religious yang mana? Yang jadi religious jangan include juga, macam Thuksey system mana? Artinya apa?
Itu topik macam, jadi zaman yang bocor nasi itu ada. Zaman sejak yang bocor, of course. I go to
religious basic celebration is depends on itu religious itu sama Buddhism sama nampak sama inclusion demi proses depan rumah habis proses depan.
Yes, today I'm talking as a Ladakhi, so that's why I'm focusing on Ladakh. Because first we have to take care of, first we have to Mama Rai Pago Chupuchas Hade. Mama Rai Pago Chupuchas Menade. Mama Rai Pago Tonga Zukta Mushisto, Benika Zuma Mushisto, Mama Rai Pago take just what the day Jamana dance of the other. So, but it's very important, much truly the point that can be added. And another simple man, Sanges is the Pago, your teachers is there, Sanges is the Pago, the Miss Boy, something compared me, and Sanges is the Pala, that was you know. But you know, the ring is just as a Ladakhi. As a Ladakh, then I'm the two chichano, you know, there is some. The Mao with Pia Ladakh and Pia, Chiorido, you know, the two chido, did Pia, Beradans for this. Because you don't introduce each other as a Mamons of Bala, and I meet them and use them so that I can understand you better. And it is an I am Tingma and you want to know more, you know, telling an Antimaya, look just is not more discussion.
Main question
question tampo kadu keshi transferla esalu chiki shengalas Buddhism zakan kas lakshya beda zuk zakan ji gyab zakan ji zuk chikama zaskarla healing strategy ini demba ka Buddhism kas tam zuk lakshya beda zakan demba ayu na ji ayu ngata ana lu sting jumkan jala sting ngata ko nyanga sajja tok sokan ji tisu share no question is pa laksana lada ka juje na mera chik pa no lada ko yang kata jawab mas fight drugs minda neko addiction minda jero ini crime mama page te so kata youth student association kazusi program ji te oni kam treatment no kazu program ji te kata lada ko ma jala kaina drugs addiction ma pe bicha ini so crime ma pe bicha tasa lada tourism ma pe Sangat ilah se YouTube ni YouTube se start untuk kena news tiga mungkin. Itu orang itu susah kagus.
Here's a true question. The first is about the caste, the low caste, and all these things. So when it comes to that, it's very important. You all should understand. Sampai how we should know the coin ada. Tangan diri language ni tangan mana yang ada. Even if me fancy English dance on YouTube channel, me fancy German dance. Me fancy yang someone YouTube channel how was that sort of done. Someone ini itu house for YouTube channel English dance. Ini dan nama German. Someone yang Instagram mungkin juga. Dan rasa kau yang jawab boleh nanti cik ko question cilo mata rig ko ya pen choices ko. Ini rig ya pen choices ko. Rig yapen choices jig pomo puza yapan yapen choices yes. This true is 100% totally against the spiritual. You know that. Choices namla mana faram more dependent on. Peji wana mata rig thone yawa choices ko. Peji wana tatri sang lada nam log layina rig ma media ma koy ita. Rig mamo zente rig phalan zente chik ini zente ma poji ge kya. Rin kazu shi ina mena inches ko mi ilusteni no. Kena nasi lam chese thone sabata na sangni kong yeshi chese no. Teni chese kong joni chese no. Chi thone sompa sa sangye chomden de mi shi ine pada ko 정말 sangye se gobam thopshes sok ino mani ko ka joni chese ko ka joamen ko ka teni chik join rig thomen isperama na meti no. Sombasan yeja sama kadang azan Buddhist children nampak sanjis macam ini pada ihal bosino, kadang chess nampak jiki yawabu mana mereka tahu chess tahu. Tapi ini nak jiten dia tahu ni jiki yawa song. Peji mana, mana sanjis jadi juga kami orang ini, gelbo, ini sesuatu di sana kingdom mampu dah ada. Ini gelbo sama, ini kingdom mampu so. Ini gelbo sama orang susu unit team lectures. Ini culture tak sudah jurut. Ini mi 지동체 라스트는 소고 지동체 라스트는 야다 세트 테니스 디자는 테니 갤포 테니스 만나 지저는 마가스타 디자는 만나 파워풀이 나도 파워체리 나도 테니스 원체 땅 부족시는 양포 테니 culture 교대 테니 유스 드릭 소파 테니 만나 culture 테니만 not spiritual not religious not spiritual it's a culture 지가 교대 테니 유스 드릭 소파 페이지 만나 나타이 다 지저노 루당지 culture 나도 Mana chese thone sangye sindu menode. Culture gyute teni pasonji jona teni lutam cheno da gelpo culture gyute 300 dollars. So o dena mashela it's a you have to understand very clearly this is nothing to do with the spiritual. You know what? Chese thone mana kara jigi yawa mana metedo. Jiga yawa mana metedo. Dena mashela lola yawa metedo. Chamla yawa metedo. Dena mashela puja thone mana yawa mana metedo. You know what? That's why, of course, Tantric Samla, gender equality is a mama mojodo, gender equality. But for the many years before, the women, homo, mana, that is second chica voted out, Niswabo, Gomabo, Naki Abazana, Uzazana, Chizanako, always first in order. You know, Tantric Samla, Yurte, Chizanako, ladies first, you know, Tantric Samla, ladies first, you know. That's good. That we can check it on the Samadana, ladies first make up, gents first make up, then gender equality. You know what? Sangi page one, Mata, Jizun Drama, 지수 좀 보모 you know what 송바선 보모이나 상계에서 보모 톱시스노 you know what 이 보모를 줄 좋아하면 자기는 맞아 매대노 you know what 이 보모를 줄 좋아 최세 통해 보모 좀 이쪽이 짱미 내가 셨네 마당 그냥 영원 준비이나 다서이가 나다는 거가 어디서 부자 보면 받아 이쪽 못 찾도 뭐때 마당 마당 준마 저수지 따드리선 준비 드리선 지교도선 준비 되네 엄전 준비 캠보 마당 캠보 제도 따드리선 캠보 제도 보모 캠보죠노 지나나시 준비 참겨는 따드리선 남아본 거 보모 중도가 누구 따드리선 다스 남아보면 남아같이 이 시간 평균 건 남지가 인맥 아까 남지가 진도자들 보모 개원 송바상 지수 좀 보모 앞에서는 이거 송바상 망토 보모 앞에서 되죠 송바상 부자 보면 발라 코로나 just of course 보면서 개발지만이 there's nothing 최세 통나 보이죠 다서서 라스 찍찍 도와 되나 자본이나 이 부자 찍고 좀 보고 이좀 인연 생겨 뭐 라스 하나 찍찍만 하면 되나 상만 everything 나들이서 프레지던트 보고 교환 알지는 상만 보고 교환 나들이서 미교식 찍고 그다 부자 주제 보고 미교식 라스 찍찍 도와 만나 찍찍 하나 라스 찍찍 안 해줘서 막 되나 송바상 최세 통이나 되나 송바상 나 최소 통에 스페란다 보스바서 되게 scientifically point of view 요죠야 아치시 I don't know 야디 scientifically point of view is that now 직대의 스톤에 다 scientifically 요죠만이 되게 직대의 스톤에 스페란다다 나타에 지시고 있어서 culture가 교제는 많이 최소 통에만 매대도 디 나타 남바지기니 하나 이 대가 하고 오셔서 만나 같이 나와서 말아 야디 되게 양 양보 다우 직직 영화 예 주스 나리 다우 직직 영화 니자 가시 나 되나라고 리피트 양 거시리 용 되나 냥보 자자 이거 이제 뭐 가족이 너무 됐다 거 양당 지게는 내가 되죠 되나 냥보 레드 지용도서나 뭐다 간테스 최세 통에 보모 이제 좀 매나 지도 다 야펠만 매나 되니 원파 가시겠나 되니 두큰 가시겠나 보모 차초하기도 이지 너무 됐고 question was there, you know what? That question also comes. Maybe Nishabuna Kashige 7 that's the Yosa Samara. And that's very much difficult. This is a very simple. I will say it means there are few, I will say few, what do you call it? Different kinds of explanation. But I think if I talk it in a very simple way, it's more to do with woman's body, which as a woman, you have a monthly, your period and all these things. So because of that, we consider this as a little bit as a kind of a dirty or what it is. So of course now you all should understand. I don't have to repeat again this. So this is just because of this, there is nothing to do with the other. Okay, so this is the one. And then what was that? And then she's a what? I forgot that. What did you said educate 가족 쪽을 싫다. 나라서 주고 성공을 맨날. I'm sorry. This looks just fun.
Then 거기
이스파고.
나상하다 나 그만만 spoil something. Drugs mampu crime mampu itu kata agak sih student association itu ya kata youth association itu khusus moment sih kata tugas sekolah sih mana itu.
Oh, tadi kalau suruh khusus no, the main of course now we have to educate the children, and now how to say kalau suruh khusus no, that we have to now organize, we have to educate that. Of course, I cannot say that education job is not the same. 난 저거 찍찍고 아베 아마 가라고 했어요. 밤에 밤만 나랑 친구 됐어요. 이거 주고 이거 시체고 예전 야에는 예전 법조가 90% 밤 알아고 했어요. 제가 밤에 주고 가족식 나 저딱 있으니까 밤에 주고 망상 잡고 줬을 때 장정 줬을 때 주고 시켰지 그냥 밤에 이렇게 발라서 프로그램 속에 이거 주고 요 주고 요 마사파 파마 먹고서 증모당하고 페레 주고 동안 되게 스페란스 포즈를 되게스만 패밀리 남고 가서 되게 주고 요 마사파 주고 되게 스카게스 가서 먹고서 통 주다 되나 자세 주고 이식에 주고 되게 드라스틱 요즘 그래서 나가라 쓰고 나 주고 그래서 그만한 되게 숙제다 하나 사수교고 만났더니 구스테에 타막 통해 계속도 다 계속 욕하고 아나 스카이게 마게라 what I do is I check them and I give them a special treatment 경스테 스페라당사는 지도잖아 아바메나 잠금 주하면도 아바메나 야페주도 아멘 아데네 지도 아베네 아마 경스테 나마 소마 경스테 야페주도 you know what this is family and it's problem 남도가 주부이 작은 마음 보여요 직직이 이 가시고 you know 아바 아무 만났을 주보다 점종이 있을 때 괜히 먹고 당시에 했지만 재화이 있을 때 짝 맛을 먹지 않는 so it's a very much I would say 90% whether children will spoil or not is very much depends on the parents and plus a friend you know so we have to educate parents and the children both so it is very important educate the parents and the children in the both in the spiritual point of view and also like normal point of view. So this too is like now mostly is everything is about education, you know. And now educated child that we judging didn't spare. That's family plan is called family plan is also about your education, your education, you know. So I will say many children get spoiled. This is mostly because of the parents.
Angkotnya Rinpoche sebenarnya indah matu jesuin ini ngajar ikan seperti ada jadi kalau ngajar baca sejesuran ini portion tak boleh ini ada zoom tak just pakai nama ada di bawah itu kan zoom tak just boleh ini ada kalau zoom ini pantok siapa tak boleh ini orang pantok sekarang tak target mata dia tak portion tak ini portion hard jesuin tapi ada zoom tak boleh boleh tambah lagi mata Buddhism ini malah tipe yang orang ya tambah cincin orang yang macam ni. Jadi isbar,
let me because I forget let me just immediately reply that. As I said, the cuma ganya lagi kalau saya itu main buku no marah nasi itu, ini mana? Ia macam mana? Sebab apa sampai cuci cincin juta, ini mana? Sebab apa sampai cuci sekolah apa sampai cuci juta bosna. Dan of course, nyimpan ikulah macam Marto düzgün adam zul senin bana bir tane nöbbaşı bir adam ama pendokşı bir adam nöbbaşı bir aga çıkıyorsa aga çıkıp min ko nöbbaşı bir men dok zete dan zeta var yana ko yöna min dok zeta var this also because your attention is something to draw back to that person you know attention to suppose ki just mane zul dan var but with a good attention with a good motivation as I said manai Kulung da bujut sete, kulung da bujut sete, kok mana sampai sekarang susah, susah, jauh jauh, sekarang das cici jono, so pasang kulung sih sampai sih tu, ini spesial mana cacai ka, mana bau bor, yang nama dipa mana, jadi jun sih petok sih pia, ada, ini petok sih pia, jun tam cesta, ini jauh mana kulung ada sih.
Ini ispa boleh pada deh, ini tambah mana Yuli nanti ni macam mana, jadi sekitar sistem tu, sistem apa? बहुत गरज है इसका सिस्टम है तेरे तो कितना खाना था मालूम है ना शिपा तो चीज ना ताम सोच जाते देश में यार ताकि उनका न्यू ना सोच जाते हैं जैसे देश तो सुना मालूम सोच जाते हैं ना वो दिमाग में जो मोन ना कैसे हो गया है ये देश में ना यूं करते हैं ना बुद्धिज्म रिलेटेड ना पर देश में ना यूं ना हो कज़ुशी ना हो
Sit there, manai sangyes church for so tusa for manai sangyes church for then is last gumjel the kechela the karma is there not cause and effect karma last gumjel the cause and effect la ram is the ingene just ngam sit there chi chana yes demoji chana skipoji chana sopoji chana katsushi chana 세 치마다 제가 몇 개씩 받아 맺히다. 지 차나 배지보다 다사에 개와 릭상 보시는 개와다나 릭님 관시 개와다나 말도와 릭 세계고 여냥 매가 다 릭상 스테디스 개와시 랑스테 되네 라이 되네 릭 속고 이동세데 야페 주시기 개와시 랑 이속시 차나 is of course is very much related to your previous life. Yes, it is related not only about this everything. Even you become the richest and the best and the best and the 상대상 릭 토쇼 예배 릭 of course is related to your previous life. So good and bad both are related to your previous life. According to the Buddha's teaching, if you are believe in the karma, let's give it.
Physically, you are mentally physically, you just important. Physically, you mentally second question education some family basic needs education education century compared to now
you know, Yana Nepal, Kalajana Thuksey Rinpoche, Yana Chishina, mentally, Hamavana, physically, Aka Yongse, Tato Yoki, Menozana Yokino. Chisana, okay, mentally, Tamata, Mancha, how was the metro Samara, you know, that's very much depends on your belief now. Ranasu Nepata, Ishet around this, you know. Ranasu Ishet for your now, even. Izukshi Hamavana, trust more get for Hamavana, trust Chilap, the blessing in the catch. You know, especially for Natae, Azuachito, trust Chilapo, Michiko Meno, Chila Chachesino. You know, Ski in one way to use now, you know. Basically, one way to use now, then is Namuma, Sange Jus and the Lurius Mako, Lurius Hashina Chidusana, then is Tawaji, and then Sange Jela. And this whole Tawas joined the dog, who he became a mom, you know. What Tawaji. And this idea is a young. What Tawakas of a journey, the court Semana teaches of the Jamajus, what Semana, then he choosing him, charging, you know, he's a bird, choosing him. But he is staying somewhere next to Mana Shindonjiga, Yamana, Amaji, you know, Amaji Moji compare, having emotion, the Dukan Jamo, charging him, small bird, you know, put it together. So he been hearing every time quite a lot of Amen or money goes on a solid look, what someone at 10 money. Well, how women in a consolidate, Common long ago, then he been quite some of them did sort of in the Quran and 7 on the Chilabus. Money, Chilabs, good day, then is quite Jishu. Then he became he quite me, that is Gavasha, quite deep Chilabas. The national Matana Killing, Kishi Tona, Tabu Banaki Tona is also not parents more comment on a money purchase. Comment on the scientific trust, money, the digestible, basically, the kitchen on the home money, 되는 통나 통나 제시 스캅 메기노 이나 호만이 빼면 호는 되면 뭐 제네스 파파체레스 유종랑 자신이 얘기해 되셨을 이 부코는 남쪽나 톤나 ton다고 하고나 코에 되니 세기나 마미나 치마니 치마나 코에 되니 질랍을 되니 질랍이 되고지 밑에 코에 되니 자스틱 만나양 스케와 남체스나 리솔다스 편도 용시스 송바서 자주 미다 가니면 아니 송바서 미시다 아까 여 이주도 분들이 남아있노 이 여 이주도 보이노 공 남아 자신이 주스이노 공 데니스 지남지 톱서 세면나가 여기도 맞아 디종시가 공 지남지 가니면 좋아 간데 식 볼겐 정말 하고는 여 이주도 지놈 파파 제레스 without compassion 미 샤도스가 펩시노 인체스도 통고 상계스도 미 루스포데 미 샤도스가 되게 스겨도 나와요 송바서 되게 디종시의 자체에서 되게 스캅이 톱나 콘 터치에서 스캅매나 자체에서 스캅톱나 질라문 죽스티노 송바서 배연 여기 넣어서 말하는 거데 and then second question was Chimon sorry mine this little bit problem here okay family planning how about sorry I understood yeah I remember now I don't want to waste your energy family planning again yang mo educated da educate jo ko shese no direction family plan ma ko mi jo she ko ta mon ma ina ko chang how was me just no you know mon ma jo gat ko ha ma was me no you know how was no mon ma ina jo ma ko yana skalis ba to you know go ma ama le keches ko na tam she skalis ba to bi do you know what so was e ma na kalis me se ko ma na handa ko so de jo me no samara they know everything how what you know what they know everything but their attention is that 주고 먹고 것이도 강발피야 주고 먹고 것이도 되니 주고 아까 풀린 얘가 풀린 상태 attention 뭐 연락이 요되노 얘는 당신은 드링상 예스 제스포 드링상 attention 연락이 just 주고 대파 되니 스페셜보다 가지 번째는 주고 죽식 중이다 에듀케이션 좀 얘는 마다 에듀케이션 좀 믿읍시다 매너 사바라 you know it is very much depends on how yourself motivation 라라이 나치스라도 마다 습식 사람이도 사단 사람이도 양 치스라도 다 영업이도 difficult to say but motivation 자나 되면 라라이 다스나미도 오이가라 그래서 많이 예 사배나 엄마가 비행상 발라 다고 메케르 성이도 많이 진짜스타 예 사배나 I think even this time also and also like 베시보나 마다 attention वगैरह 이나 주고 베시보나 주고 같이 공부하다 풀린 상 되게 이쪽 트렌드 상나 예뻐 스칼레스 와서가 영화면 했어 봐라 예상되나 you 저 뭐라니 근데 사파다 수시 제발이 나왔어 봐라 you
오케이 그래서 된다 나는 거제 숨을 못 간다지 마음 빼라다 상당히나 나 빼줄 다 줄까이나 그러니까 딱 정말로 마땅 상비 공배가 공부할 때 잘했다 돌아 줄 때 lokjong tang yang pur chikok la jatuh juga sih pemakai tandino dia